afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Ohio State offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach Brian Hartline is expected to become the next head coach at South Florida. Sports Illustrated's Pat Forty reported Hartline's deal is for 6 years, but he will stay with the Buckeyes through the postseason. On National Signing Day, Chris Henry Jr., the top receiver in the 2026 class, signed with Ohio State over USC and Oregon. Three-star safety Caden Gebhart from Olentangy High School flipped to the Buckeyes from Clemson for Hayes Fawcett of Rivals. NFL, the Browns designated quarterback Deshaun Watson to return to practice. Watson started the first 7 games of the 2024 season before undergoing 2 surgeries to repair his right Achilles tendon. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. Here Buckeyes head coach Ryan Day's signing day press conference coming up on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All righty then. Come on in. Nice and warm. We'll keep you company for the next 3 hours. We are Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Maddie Ice Hayes, and the Loose Cannon. Boys, the pleasantries are out there. We've got a departing OC eventually here. We've got a National Signing Day. We've got Shefty coming on today. I'm all mixed up because I know we're waiting on this presser. Rarely, Maddie, do we do a Tap Dance Wednesday. So Shefty, I still believe, is coming on today at
1:30.
1:30.
Yeah,
so we're going to slide him to 1:30. We usually have him at 12:30.
Yeah.
So Ryan Day will hit the podium.
And then we got at 2:30 today. Keep going. We got a menu.
Hockey and Hounds. Yeah, sorry.
The menu is full today. You know what?
Oh, wait. We skipped one already. So after this presser, to kind of get the full Heartline effect, Stephen Means of Cleveland.com will come on right after the presser. And I've been to a lot of these. And undoubtedly, and I'm not sure this will happen, but it's some of these pressers, Maddie, that I've been to for when news pops on a recruiting day.
Yeah.
A lot of times they try to just, guys, this is a recruiting press conference. We're going to keep our questions to recruiting. Everybody kind of nods their head. And then eventually somebody kind of just massages one through. Mm-hmm. And then once the dam is broken, it's broken. Yeah. And then the coach is a captive audience member at that point, so he's got to stay. So I would, if I was betting whether it would be the first question, yeah, that's got to be the favorite. It's got to be the favorite, unless there's some sort of disclaimer on this presser. We'll find out in a few minutes.
I mean, there was a definite buzz in the building this morning. Everybody's out there talking, the three of us and Tyvis and T-Bone and just Fish. And it's cool. I love these type of days, man, because it's just so much intrigue and everybody's getting their opinions off. And then you hop on social media and you see, part of Buckeye Nation's a little worried, right? And you got some people that aren't a part of Buckeye Nation throwing out tweets of wide receiver U is dead and all of these things. And there was some worry, right, because of the Chris Henry situation and Chris Henry Jr. being an absolute, seems like star in the making at the wide receiver position. And he threw out, hey, hats of what, Oregon and USC and Ohio State. And so before we got to his commitment, that combination, I think, had Buckeye fans a little concerned about, all right, where is this
the
thing
other guy flipping?
Heading? Well, I'm just talking about Chris Henry before that, because you're talking about Caden Wyatt Dixon.
The four-star kid that actually did flip from Ohio State to USC.
But
that I think got people
for sure
legitimately concerned.
That's Chris Henry Jr.'s teammate out there at Modern Day, and so maybe those guys were on the same page. But I think there's now a little sigh of relief that Chris Henry Jr. is locked in and he is committed to Ohio State. And now we're going to go over and hear from Coach Day, hopefully, about all of this.
Take you right there.
This is a live feed of Ryan Day's weekly press conference, sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
Came together, and it seems like the last 2 months specifically was a whirlwind, and adding 10 different commitments, and now most of them in. But where are you at with where it's at, and what do you still want to see addressed? Obviously, guys that are not signed, I know you can't talk.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, I felt like from the beginning on this that what we needed to do was, be really thorough in our evaluations and make sure that they were the right fit for our program. With everything, considering where we are in college football and the investment that everybody's making in these young men. And so the first thing, we look at certainly is their ability, their talent, their character, their family, academically, their mindset. There's all these things that we take into consideration. And, this is a very talented group of young men. When you look at, a lot of the positions, we have to address every position. Obviously up front is critical. And I think we've done a really good job there. I think, Larry really finished strong here and really addressed some areas. And I think Tyler did an excellent job up front. And that was important. But just across the board, I think the secondary, you look at, some of the guys that we're bringing in, very, very talented. And so when, we looked at it even last spring, I think after the spring visits, that's always been sort of a time when, a lot of guys have committed when they started to go with the official visits in the spring. And that's an important time, but we really wanted to evaluate their senior years to make sure that we had the right guys. And I feel like we do. And it's not about the ones that you don't get, it's about the ones you do get. Make sure you have the right guys here. I think we've done that with this group. We're still, working through a few of these guys, but overall it's an excellent group. These guys care about Ohio State. You can tell from the jump with a lot of these guys, they've been committed for a long time, or the guys that have jumped in recently are just really excited about what we're doing and are here for the right reasons. So it's a great class. It is certainly unique to be doing this right now, getting ready to play in a game. So to say that, all of our focus is on this right now, it's not. But that being said, it's a great day for these guys. This is a point in their lives where it's one of those timeline moments, signing with Ohio State. And so, they're finishing high school careers, and a lot of guys are going to be here in the next month. And, being a dad and going through this with my son, man, I'm just happy for these families because it's a moment to, be thankful. Be thankful for not only for the people that invested in these guys, but be thankful to be in this position, to have this opportunity to be a part of something special.
It's been a long time since you were an assistant coach, so I understand that maybe your perspective's different, but can you speak to just the overall difficulty that you guys are having when it comes to the transition period between one coach to the next? Not even talking about this news with Brian today, but going back to Caden Gebhardt, who is signed today with you guys, but wasn't really even mentioned over the last 8 months after the defensive coordinator change. Matt came in and had to come in late, and then Tyler coming in and having to trust evaluations from Justin when it comes to guys like Max and Sam, who you evaluated the first time 3 years ago. How much does that have the potential, do you think, to change things, and how challenging has that been to know that your program is being poached by a lot of people because you guys are successful?
Well, I say this, and Coach Meyer, Coach Tressel said this to me, when I took the job. This job is bigger than any one person. And so Ohio State's been good for a long time, will continue to be good moving forward. So, while there always will be these situations, for whatever reason, good or bad, we all aim for them to be good, that when we're doing well, people have opportunities. And that's part of it. And I think, these recruits understand that. So when they come in, the relationships matter, but they also want to see the stability of a program, that when they send their sons somewhere, they're going to be surrounded with the best. And that's my job. So my job is to surround these players with the best there possibly can be. And you've heard me say this before. If you are an O-line coach, it should be O-line you. If you're a linebacker coach, it should be a linebacker you. And it's my job as the head coach to make sure that we're hiring guys and bringing guys in here to be the best. And, I really work hard on that, to make sure that when I look these families in the eye, I say, I'm going to take care of your son and do everything I can to surround them with, the best strength coach in America, Mick Marotti. And so when we have a change, you got to go out there and you got to get that done. I think, in particular, like you said, with Caden and all that, when Matt came in here, it was, we had a great run last year, and Jim did a great job. So okay, well, who's coming in? And during that time, there's an unknown. And so in the end, it comes down to trust. Do you trust the fact that we're going to continue to bring in great people here? And now you can see how that's working. So that's the goal. And we say that in recruiting, that nothing's guaranteed. But this program is strong and will continue to be strong and has been strong. I mean, and it's bigger than any one person.
Oh, sorry. You said front row, I got confused. Ryan, with Brian moving to South Florida, is the intention that he will stay with the staff through the postseason? And do you have any immediate thoughts on how you might address his departure staff-wise?
Yeah, so, we'll do a quick team meeting here and kind of let the team know. He was able to let the wide receivers know and the recruits know. And I'm really happy for he and his family. The fact that he gets an opportunity to do this. He's put a lot of hard work here at Ohio State as a player and now as a coach. And so that's part of the profession. And that's, as a head coach, it's gratifying to see one of your assistants get one of these opportunities. And I think he's going to do great. I think it's a great opportunity for him and looking forward to see how he does. And so that's exciting for him. The timing isn't great, but that's not Brian's fault. That's other people's fault. And hopefully we can get some of this stuff addressed because it's but it's like that for everybody in the country. So instead of being upset about it, we're going to embrace it. And I'll let the team know today. They obviously will read it today, but it's good to hear from me. But yeah, the plan is for him to continue to be with the team, which is a challenge for him, but that speaks to his character, that he wants to make sure he finishes this thing out the right way. We're certainly right now, I'm not going to be long in here because we got to focus on Indiana, making sure we're ready situationally, have a great practice, and go play this game on Saturday. And then, over that next month, we'll figure out what that cadence looks like. But he wants to be with us all the way through, all the way to the end, and see this thing out during the season. So it'll be a busy month for him, but it's been done before, and we'll help him along the way.
To take on any additional play calling experience because of everything that's not going to be on his plate.
Yeah, and we're going to look at that and see how that all works. It's all happened really fast. I think that's probably been the biggest challenge, for Brian, for all of us, is just this really happened very, very quickly. So the good news is we have great people. We'll have a plan. We'll be able to move quickly, and the goal is for us, for the players, not to be distracted and just focus on what's important. And make sure we put a good plan together, make sure we get the stuff in clean. But we do have good people, and Brian's going to do everything he can to make sure he's doing what's right for the offense.
With Blaine specifically, I mean, perception when you land a guy from Baton Rouge that's like right next to LSU, there's a lot of he'll eventually flip, or there'll be issues to hold on to him. I mean, he only ever visited you guys. What's to say about him as a person and what all the work that Matt did to kind of get him in the class?
Unbelievable. I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm sensitive to just start talking about one or two guys, but when you ask me specifically about somebody, then I'll certainly comment on them because I don't want to short anybody on a day like today. But we only have so much time. He's been amazing from the jump. I think he's a tremendous player. I think he has tremendous ability, but I also think he has leadership skills. He's got that look in his eye, that quiet confidence. Reminds me of some guys that we have back there right now, and I think he's going to have an impact day one when he gets in.
You can call him a recruiting guy, that's fine.
Brian, if everything goes according to plan, you're supposed to sign 28 guys today, which is a little bit larger of a class than usual. With the expanded roster limits, is that probably the norm going forward for Ohio State, or is this particular class just kind of how things unfolded?
Yeah, not to get into the weeds on it, but certainly we have this, the transfer portal window coming up. And then the way that it's set right now, it's really only one portal window. And so we need to know what our roster is by the time the transfer portal closes. And then, if we continue to play in the playoffs, the transfer portal can still be open after we're done playing, which really puts us in a tough spot, and whoever's in that situation. So we have to plan accordingly the best we can and predict and forecast what it's going to look like. And so looking at what we needed here coming out of this class, these were the guys that we felt like really fortified us moving forward. And then we got to figure out, how we address some needs in the portal where appropriate. And then go from there, because we're not going to have the spring portal to fill in these holes, and it's a challenge. I'm not going to get into that right now, but this was the number that we were looking for right here.
And then when specifically did Brian inform you he had an opportunity, and how did you kind of communicate to the wide receiver commits that you have about what was happening?
Yeah, it all really kind of happened in the last day, and I'll let you. I don't want to talk for him, but. It's all happened very, very fast, and so we had to communicate quickly, but he's handled everything the right way.
We got time for two more. Andrew Gillis.
Brian, first year on the job, how would you evaluate Tyler Bowen's job recruiting? I think this is the best class in the 4 or 5 years that you guys brought in on the
Thorough, constantly is bringing guys in on campus. Mark will tell you, when we have a game or a visit, there's 8, 9, 10 offensive linemen, and they're big dudes when they walk in. I mean, they're good-looking guys. And, he's got a deep list. He connects well. I think for an offensive line coach, he has a great combination of the ability to coach technique. He's got toughness. He's a former offensive lineman, but he also has an unbelievable job of connecting, and he sees things from a wider lens. I think he's got a lot of talent, and I think that the guys in that room really believe in what he's doing. You can see the connection already with the recruits coming in, so I think he's off to a great start.
You mentioned the changing roster size and all this stuff like that. With a kid like Braxton that you guys brought in defensively, that's a body type that there's not a lot of. Is that an increased emphasis for you guys in maybe being able to take more kids like that you can look at and say, hey, we don't have this type of player on our roster?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I think, when Matt, sees a body like that, his eyes light up, because I think he starts to, project him in different roles. And I think, James and, all the guys over there, Larry and Matt and Tim, they're trying to find as many versatile guys as they can. And this is one right here. And, he came up with his family and visited, and, this is a big, long body type that we feel like can really grow into a versatile athlete. And, he saw what this was all about and wanted to jump in. So excited to have him part of this class.
Right. You talk about the guys, the expectation of being wide receiver you, linebacker you. Can you speak a little bit on James and what he's meant to, not just the recruiting acumen that he clearly has, but what he's done in the room, and now the ability to grow on that with guys like Sincere and CJ and Braxton?
Yeah, it's a good group. James does a great job of communicating. I think you guys have seen that, when he played, and even when he was doing radio and TV, and even now when he gets in front of the group, he just really communicates well and can, really crystallize a message and a thought in a special way, in my opinion. But he also has the credibility, the toughness. He connects well with the guys. He's intelligent. He's really, in a short period of time, turned into a really good coach in a lot of different ways. And recruiting's a big part of it. He recognizes the guys that he wants. He goes and gets them. He's honest with them. It's not Disneyland recruiting. I think he's straight with them. They know what they're going to get when they get here, and he treats them like they're going to be like he was during recruiting. That's just the way he handles his business, and certainly, he's a Buckeye that we all can be proud of.
Like a couple of years ago when you hired Jim and then Chip, and then even with the hiring of Matt, that there was an idea that maybe the coordinator doesn't need to be an everyday, all-day recruiter guy going out there and being involved because you have guys like Brian and James around. Is there any change in philosophy for you, or any attempt with a guy like Matt, who I think you would like to be a part of the DNA of this program for a while?
Yeah.
To get him more involved in that and being more of the front-facing side of the defense recruiting?
I think that he's definitely done a great job of that. I think he's connected with these guys in a short period of time. It's easy to see the type of personality he has. He has the credibility, and I think it's important for recruits to know that, like we see today, when an assistant coach were to leave, you still have somebody who's running the defense. You still have a head coach who's running the program, and that's very, very important along the way. And so, it's group recruiting. And you can see, and something we really sell is our stability, and the continuity of our staff and the type of people that are here, whether it's Mick or Mark, or the assistant coaches, the staff, like all of that matters. And so it's great when recruits get to spend time with those guys to recognize that it's more than just a relationship with a single person.
Coach, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, we'll bring up Mark D'Antoni.
You've been listening to the Ryan Day press conference on the Fan.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
Not exactly your little pop-up presser. We knew it was happening from signing day. He obviously preempted some of the big questions about Brian Hartline by talking about the coaching change. We'll react to that and the impact of this moving forward. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Toyota-thon is on, and there's no better way to get in the spirit of the season than with a new Toyota. Like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through January 5th, you can get 4.75 APR financing on any remaining new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander, including hybrid models, with approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get Toyota Care 2 years, no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. The year is fast coming to an end, and maybe you have been putting off doing something you needed to do for a long time, like replace your windows. Well, it's too expensive. I'm not sure about the cost. I have got a solution for you, and you can get this done before the new year. Take advantage of Window Nation's end-of-year sale right now. They've got 50% off all window styles, plus you could get 0% interest financing for 5 years. And we always talk about the cost efficiency of these windows. They will keep your home warmer in the cold months, cooler in the warm months, because they keep the energy you're putting into your house inside your house. But you know what? They also look great. They've got so many styles that'll help beautify your home and protect it from the harsh elements. So check out Window Nation today. Schedule a fast free estimate now at windownation.com. I trust Window Nation because they get an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They do a 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves the factory. And oh, by the way, they're a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. I like that too. Schedule your estimate today. windownation.com.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. You know when you grow a beard or cut your hair and the mirror surprises each day, then it fades? Well, here's what doesn't fade. Seeing this thinner version of me staring back every single morning. 2 years after dropping 50 pounds with Awaken 180, I'm still doing a double take. And let me tell you, it feels awesome. Awaken 180 didn't just change my weight, it changed how I see myself, literally. I dropped my 50 pounds during the holidays. It's the best time to start, in my opinion. What's stopping you? Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey Columbus, Retail Rush is celebrating our grand opening. Designed with you in mind, Retail Rush offers great deals on name brand products at up to 90% off retail prices with fast, easy pickup that fits your schedule. Bid on great deals at Retail Rush for products like home decor, lawn equipment, and much more. Sign up now at retailrush.com, start browsing, and bid now. Retail Rush. Deals made easy. Bid now at retailrush.com.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
In Central Ohio, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. Quiet weather today, but cold. Low 30s this afternoon with some sunshine. We'll see a little bit of light snowfall overnight into early Thursday, but impact should be minimal. Temperatures in the 20s Thursday afternoon. Early Friday, cold temperatures wait for single digits to greet you as you head out the door in the morning. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, kids. Anthony once did magic for birthday parties. See, when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound so bad. Back to Rothman and Ice.
Yep, always a zing. Always got to be a little needling. All right, let's reset here on Rothman and Ice. If you just joined us. So, I don't know if it was the first question. I think that was the upset of the day, that the first question wasn't about, hey, your OC is leaving. What's the impact on the program and recruiting moving forward? But he did go on to talk about the timing of it and how weird it is. So back in the day, Maddie, like National Signing Day was what? The first Wednesday in February, and it was like season's over and it makes sense. And now it's just, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know why it changed. I guess there's a lot more feeling that I really don't know.
All of this feels odd to me, right?
The timing of it feels very odd.
The college football schedule is strange, right? That we are inside of a week to where you're getting number 1 versus number 2, right? In a Big Ten championship game, other conference championship games happening, and just around the sport, there's just so much movement with the recruiting stuff and all these coaches taking jobs elsewhere and all of these things. It's just, it feels clunky and has felt clunky over the last couple of years. But you heard from Coach Day.
Voted on it.
No, I get that. I'm just saying.
It's weird. They wanted National Signing Day in the first week of December.
You heard from Coach Day today, though, the confidence in his voice, right? Where he respects the job that Brian Hartline's done here. But like he said, there's no one guy, including himself, that's bigger than this program. And I think you have to, as a Buckeye fan, have belief in him and what he's built, that this program's not going to completely fall off because you lost a great assistant coach. And I'm one of those people as well, is that when you look at the runway that's ahead for Coach Day and where he is at his age and all those things, this guy is still going to have Ohio State as a Mount Rushmore program to me. And so we can all acknowledge how great of a job Hartline's done on the recruiting trail for years and years. And we're watching these games on Sundays, and it's, the Garrett Wilsons of the world and the JSNs. And a lot of people see those guys and think about Brian Hartline. So I can understand why the news pops up today and you hear that guy is going elsewhere to take a head coaching job, that there's some concern there. And especially when that news comes out and some of the guys that were committed to Ohio State, or at least one of the guys that was committed to Ohio State at that position, decommitted and went to USC. And then there's kind of still, I guess, a little gray area with this Chris Henry Jr. thing at the moment right now, because he hasn't officially, I guess, signed his papers. And so it was some buzz on social media that he was still coming to Columbus. So we'll keep everybody updated on that.
Tell him, man. Tell him to go get the papers. Get the papers.
It doesn't sound like the hay is fully in the barn with that just yet. So we'll keep everybody updated there.
So just to take you back real fast on this, there are 3 facts that I think exist here on the calendar that I don't understand when coaches say that it's messed up by somebody else. The coaches wanted National Signing Day in the first week of December. Now, they wanted the single 2-week transfer portal window in the first 2 weeks of January. They voted for it. They said. So when I hear these coaches saying, well, NCAA, they really got this calendar screwed up, that's not true. They all voted on it. The American Football Coaches Association voted it. They sent it to the presidents. They said, good, that's what you want, that's what you get. So while it's weird timing, it's certainly not surprising to any of them because this is what they voted for. Now, maybe it'll change eventually. As far as the Brian Hartline situation, I think the dream scenario for every Buckeye fan was that he would stay here and keep being a rock star in the recruiting and continue to evolve as a play caller, and then eventually become the logical successor to Ryan Day, whenever that would be. Ryan Day racks up another couple titles, wants to go back to the NFL, chasing Lombardi, I don't know. But I think that was the ideal scenario. And it's not that Ohio State fans were probably thinking that was the favorite that was going to happen, but I think it wasn't, to me, it wasn't absurd to think that could happen. And I know a lot of people now that he's left are coming back with, well, he had to go. If he wanted to be wants to be the head coach here, he's got to go become a head coach. I don't know about that. Maybe it'll help, certainly. But I didn't think, did you think that was an automatic that he had to leave here to one day become the head coach?
I mean, for me, when I think about Coach Day and where he is in age, I don't really see him going anywhere anytime soon. I really don't, unless there's some unforeseen things that we don't know about. Maybe he's, that he's checked all these boxes, and maybe he would be good looking at his resume, and maybe he wants to, like you said, challenge himself elsewhere. But if you're Hartline, you got to look at where Day is and think, this job may not be open for a while. And so you take a job down in Florida, a place you've done a really good job in recruiting well. You played there in the NFL and all those things. So you know that landscape very well. And then maybe you can go from USF to maybe another program and build up your resume. And when that time comes, I guarantee you, everybody at Ohio State will think about Brian Hartline if and when Ryan moves on to something else or whatever that looks like. And so that path for him, I can understand why the timing of everything for him, you've been here for a long time, done some great things as a play caller and recruiting. Now it's time to go push yourself to see what you can be. And you just got to hope years down the road that, hey, if this job becomes available, you'll be in line to get that call and hopefully roam the sidelines as the head honcho.
Yeah, no, I'm not viewing it from his lens. It probably makes a lot of sense. Go back to South Florida. I love it there. I was with the Dolphins.
For sure.
Makes sense. Let me get into the head coaching ranks. Let's not sit around for something that may or may not exist for me in 5 years. Yeah. I want to be a head coach. And so he's leaving. The fact that he's staying through the playoff is great. Mm-hmm. And I had a cousin of mine text me, because Hartline's leaving, huh? And I go, yeah, but he's staying for the playoff. And he goes, you mean he didn't tell OSU that if he wasn't allowed to stay that he would take the offensive staff with him? And I said, no. He didn't pull a Lane Kiffin.
And it's crazy because Charlie Weiss Jr. is back at Ole Miss. He's going to coach with them throughout the playoff after it seemed like he was done and going to LSU. So the vibes around that program in the next few weeks are definitely going to be strange for sure in Oxford.
Well, the thing that you mentioned that's still hanging there, because I thought about an hour ago that Chris Henry was pretty much sealed.
Cole texted us, and then CB during the break I think CB's on tilt just a little bit with this as well. That's not official. Yeah, but we'll keep
you know what
posted.
the call is. The call is, tell us what you need.
Oh, I mean, that's the call. Mentioned earlier,
we can beat any offer.
You're a high school senior right now, and you maybe have Phil Knight on one line, the head honcho at USC,
Fun
and
little game.
Ryan Day and his career at Ohio State. Hey, that's not enough. Not enough.
Yeah, and I don't think he can truly Nico himself because he's more of the number one rated wide receiver in the country. This isn't some kid you've already seen in college and then it's overplaying his hand.
And real quick, Hartline's not here for him, Chris Henry, but his sister's on the basketball team here. So there's some probably comfort there as well.
All right, we're going to come back in a very short time here, and we will get into the game this weekend and the fact that there's a story out there that maybe one of them could lose a bye. I don't see how that's even possible unless something really weird happens. You'll hear from Signetti also on the lessons learned from a year ago. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Chronic pain can make life feel impossible, but at QC Kinetics, there's a breakthrough that's giving people real hope. Stem wave therapy.
It has fundamentally changed the way I look at cases after 30 years in practice. So when we talk about regenerative medicine, we're talking about these types of devices.
That's Dr. Tony DeCesaro, one of the nation's authorities on stem wave therapy.
Been around for about 30 years in Europe. Now it's really taken a real foothold. People are tired of just using pills that really cover everything up and they don't really heal.
This device is both diagnostic and therapeutic, helping the medical team at QC Kinetics find the problem and trigger your body's natural healing response.
It's about giving hope, right? That there are options.
QC Kinetics. Harness the power of stem wave and get relief now. Your first treatment is only $49. Call for your consultation here in Columbus. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. QC Kinetics. 380-208-4544.
Central Ohio's largest selection of lush, live, and cut Christmas trees.
Oakland Nursery.
New holiday accents, personable gifts, seasonal treasures, and delectable foods at our two specialty stores.
Oakland Nursery.
Live greenery, wreaths, pine roping, and poinsettias at all four garden centers.
Oakland Nursery.
25% weekly savings on select holiday items.
Oakland Nursery.
35 acres of crisp outdoor shopping and a Christmas tradition since 1940.
Oakland Nursery.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Ohio Credit Union Business Banking is there whether you need a loan to grow your operations or cash flow solutions to keep things moving forward. Real talk about what matters to your business. Visit telohio.org/business.
Certain restrictions apply. Telehio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony once got Jack Nicklaus to quote the movie Caddyshack, so he's got that going for him.
The last time I saw a mouth like that, I had a hook.
Which is nice. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Let's go while we're young.
Wild times. This college football thing we got brewing here. You got a fairly big game Saturday. I know it's not an elimination game. It really doesn't end the bye for either one. So I had some of my IU dudes here, and there's a story. Where is this one? Oh, yeah. could the loser of the IU-Ohio State game lose a bye in the CFP? And I wrote back and I said, not in a million years.
I'm not seeing it.
Because IU can't fall below Oregon. They went out there and won that game. Unless you guys can paint me a scenario that you see something different. I did say, listen, if it's a Wisconsin, you lose 59-0, come back and talk to me. Like, all right. But even then, it would only be their first loss. It would be the number one team in the country on a neutral field. Yeah. Like,
I don't think you should get punished for 4 quarters of play when you built up.
Who would jump them?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just think what they've done on the Indiana side of things and how clean they've played all year and how they just handle business, haven't really messed around with many teams. The game against I think it was Iowa, maybe got a little bit tight for them. But
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Bama thrashes Georgia somehow.
That wouldn't do it for me.
I wouldn't think.
For me, personally, that right. I wouldn't.
Okay, I'm just bringing up like whatever that might exist in this talk.
Yeah.
And then Georgia would fall too.
Right.
So if Bama thrashes Georgia,
that's what I mean.
Then Georgia
they'd probably
is also
fall out of the top 4, right? So I think the biggest insulation for Indiana is the Oregon win out at Oregon. And I will tell you this, I watched every second of that game. And the difference between this Indiana team, and I think I remember saying this to you guys on that Monday. 4th quarter, Mendoza throws a pick 6 outside, right hash to outside the left numbers. This is at Autzen. That tied the game in the 4th quarter. And I'm telling you, every Indiana team from here to 1988 loses that game except this one.
They fold after that.
They crumble. And it's not because they suck. It's because they wouldn't have enough at that place. And by the way, whatever figurative roof would be on that place, it was blown to smithereens when they took that back for pick 6. So anybody who thinks that Indiana was a no-doubter to win that game didn't watch it all or doesn't have a feel for it.
They had earned it.
Because they came back with that drive in the 4th quarter. That's a 20-20 game on the road after you've thrown a pick 6 in perhaps the toughest atmosphere around, and you were in trouble. And they found a way out of it.
Yeah, it's that, AR, and then what we watched in Penn State, too, over at their stomping grounds, right, where he marched down the field and had to deal with some heat, and he delivered. And so he has those things that you absolutely have to respect in 2 tough environments, both at Oregon and Penn State. And that's going to be so fun to watch this Saturday. We talked a lot this year about what Matt Patricia and this defense has been able to do, especially with younger quarterbacks. And we just watched it Saturday against Bryce Underwood. Like, it just wasn't there. He never felt comfortable to me. He's not at that point in his career right now, especially with his arm, where he's going to be able to pick apart a defense like Ohio State. But maybe you get more poise from a guy from Mendoza, right, who spent a couple years at Cal, and now here he is, obviously very comfortable with what he's been able to do all year. So that chess match, I cannot wait to see, AR, because Matt Patricia has flustered a lot of quarterbacks and offenses all season, and Fernando Mendoza this year has been really, really clean with what he's been able to do with only 5 interceptions on the year and a 72% completion percentage.
The one thing that would give you a little pause if you're Indiana is how physically Penn State moved you around for most of that game. That's the difference, and that's the equal-to-equal stuff that we're going to see here. You know how physical Iowa is. That game they had a tough time with on the road. Yeah. Like, how much can they stand up over 4 quarters with teams that physically can match up or be more physical than them? I had a buddy of mine ask me, what's more important, Indiana beating Ohio State for a Big Ten championship, one that, you can't even think about the last time, or going and winning a playoff game and not winning at all. And I said, if you're giving me that exact scenario, then I think this game is more important. I do. Now, if they win this game, if Indiana were to upset them and win it and then lose the first round of the playoff or their first round, then the disappointment becomes just incredible because of, wait a minute, how did you pull that off and then lose? So
really?
Just to kind of, to do apples and apples, like right now, I can tell you right now, this is the most important game that Indiana's ever played.
This upcoming Saturday.
Now, it doesn't make sense because they'd be going into a playoff quarterfinal, and that would be, obviously, because that's the road to the national title, and that would defeat the argument that the criteria is to be the last team standing. It would be more disappointing to lose in the quarterfinal, than certainly it would be to lose this game.
For me, I'm not at a point to where Indiana, I don't think they should feel national championship or bust expectations yet.
What if they win?
I'm not there
this
yet with
game?
this team. I'm still not there. I still think looking at the combination of what they did last year and what they've done this year, and like you said, if they do clip Ohio State on Saturday, like this is still Indiana that we're talking about. Now, there's a conversation to be had where it's like these type of teams and these type of seasons, you want to run through the tape and be the last team standing. I get that, but I don't think anybody's going to be crushing Indiana if that scenario pops up for them and they lose in the playoff without getting all the way. I wouldn't be one of those people that would crush them for that.
What does a Kurt Signetti say to a Matty Ice Hayes in that presser if he hears him say, "This is still Indiana"? What is he? I mean, hey, what is he saying to that?
He'd probably have some words for me that I can't say on the air right now, but that's where I'm at with them. I don't know if everybody else is, but I still don't view them quite yet as a team that year in and year out is going to do this at this level.
I understand what you're saying. Here he is on the lessons learned from a year ago.
While that was not an enjoyable experience, it was an experience that was necessary for our growth and development. To go into a hostile environment like Ohio State and play a team of that quality. We got off to a decent start, but then after that, it was pretty much all Ohio State. And, we were able to add some key pieces to this year's team, some veterans that had played a lot of football, been in those environments. And I think the guys that returned, from last year's team learned a lot from Ohio State and Notre Dame, which helped us. So after, we were able to, when we played Illinois, they were 9 in the country, played them at home, played really well, won decisively, but then went to Iowa, a really difficult place to play. And I think a very underrated football team.
You know what he's saying, Matty?
What's that?
He's saying they got another layer of skin on them, that they're a little tougher.
Yeah.
That they've been a little scarred. They're a little tougher.
Yep.
They've felt they know what it's like now to go up against the benchmark and not be able to win. And they're a team, and I think you probably agree with me, they're knocking on the door. You're just not sure they can kick it in.
That's it. That's where I'm at right now with them.
We're going to come back, and we'll continue on the Heartline Impact at the top of the hour with our guy Stephen Means, who was at the presser. But up next, does Shedeur have some new competition in his own building? The update's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season with a Home for the Holidays raffle. And help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish Kids. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomefortheholidayscolumbus.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomefortheholidayscolumbus.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Have a good day. Stay warm. So my teenage son just went to school in shorts and a hoodie. It's 3 degrees. At least I know he'll be warm in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge. Ah, you do want the coat.
My phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Millions of fans agree this Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. December 23rd, 2 shows, Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A portion of the proceeds benefits the James and Heather Pick Music Program.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. You know when you grow a beard or cut your hair and the mirror surprises each day, then it fades? Well, here's what doesn't fade. Seeing this thinner version of me staring back every single morning. 2 years after dropping 50 pounds with Awaken 180, I'm still doing a double take. And let me tell you, it feels awesome. Awaken 180 didn't just change my weight, it changed how I see myself, literally. I dropped my 50 pounds during the holidays. It's the best time to start, in my opinion. What's stopping you? Awaken180weightloss.com.
In Columbus, how you roll up on game day matters. And with Polestar are redefining the driving experience. The Polestar 3 isn't just an electric SUV. It's an SUV that drives like a sports car. Precise, powerful, silent enough to hear the crowd before you see the stadium. Drive it today at Polestar Columbus or visit polestarcolumbus.com for a test drive and to learn about our competitive lease offers.
Skyline's Mac and Cheese 3-Way is back. This time with white cheddar cheese and creamy cavatappi pasta. Try a Mac and Cheese 3-Way with Skyline's original chili or their new chicken chili at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
Dormar, you're kind of cute.
Ugh, gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tidy whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair.
Dormar, you're kind of cute.
Wake up and laugh with the Bob and Tom Show on the Fan 2.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
It says here they've won 5 Marconi Awards. I can't even spell Marconi. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Bob and Tom Show. It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Want to jinx your favorite sports team?
Please get out of my Van Halen t-shirt before you jinx the band and they break up.
Just ask Maddie to print your shirts. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, I saw this, and I think a lot of people had fun with this today because he's been out of sight, out of mind. And Browns fan is done. Like, if I could guarantee you that Deshaun Watson would be healthy all year next year and not have an injury, and he would be your quarterback, he would make it through 17 games, and I told that to Browns fan, I don't think their question to me is, well, how does he look? I think their answer to me is, forget it.
You know what we should do?
Done.
I would love to throw out a poll for this.
We can do that.
Throw out a poll, TLC.
It's the first thing that popped in my mind. Now, we have to phrase it correctly.
Yes. Because I think that would be very interesting what AR just said. That you get to the end of the road here. Deshaun Watson is healthy and ready to go for 2026.
Do you need to see him at the end of this year at all? Is that part of the equation?
I would have to imagine some people would like to see that. But either way, let's throw out a poll from our Twitter page, 971RNI. And Browns fans, I'd love for you to weigh in on this. Like, if you know he's ready to go.
Well, the reason why I brought it up real fast is his 21-day window opened.
Correct.
Today.
And so when you hear that isn't the automatic, hey, he's ready to be
activated
in game action. Like, wouldn't be surprised if he's limited, he's day-to-day, because the injuries, I guess, with the 2 times over Achilles stuff that he had to deal with, that's hard to come back from, man. We've seen what Kirk Cousins has gone through, and I know he's older than Deshaun Watson, but AR, I don't really see the point in throwing him out there. The rest of this season.
The only part of this that I could see is that if you're trying to prove to other teams that he's healthy and can throw a football, and then you can dump him. Like,
Who wants that contract, right?
Well, of course not. But I don't think anyone would certainly want him anyway.
No,
but I think knowing the reason the poll is important is because Shedeur did not look good last week. Like, he was all right. He was fine. He was all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
You know, there is no question in my mind that if you offered a 100% healthy Deshaun Watson versus a 100% healthy Shedeur Sanders next year, Browns fans would much more lean into the mystery of Shedeur, right?
I would think so. I would think so because as a Browns fan, since Deshaun has arrived.
You're now a Browns fan?
No, I'm just saying, like, there's been.
You were speaking as a Browns fan.
There's been a former, I guess, Browns fan. There's been nothing promising that the man's done on the field. So it's not even like, hey, we saw this from him and he delivered these moments for us, right? It was consistent play and he did this against that team or that quarterback. Like, there's been none of that. When he was healthy and available, the play was average at best. So I don't even think they would believe in any type of thing with Deshaun at this point, because what have you seen from the man to make you want to continue to ride it out with him? I think you want to turn the page and reset the clock and find a young guy that's going to be your guy of the future and hope in time that you can be a New England Patriots and find a Drake May or some of these teams that have found their young quarterback.
What if, another disclaimer on the poll, Shedeur plays the rest of the year and looks very average. Just nothing that would make you think.
Average for a starter? As in a top 16 quarterback?
Or average for a rookie? Because there's levels to this, right?
Let's say pedestrian. Okay, that is more of a negative connotation.
Yeah, no real, not the same hope.
Let's say
not hopeless. Well, hopeless would be strong, but just to the point where, yeah, hopeless. Like that, it just doesn't give you a good feeling going to the offseason.
Yeah,
he plays the rest of this year like, yeah, and you can put a disclaimer on the fact that, okay, well, maybe his weapons aren't that good, or the O-line's not blocking for him, or the opponent's tough, and he's still a rookie. You can
play
put
calling, blah, 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 whatever you want to do.
But you're coming out of this season thinking a lot differently than you did when he got that first start against the Raiders, and it was like, wait till this offseason when Shedeur was pitching that, you know?
Remember that
what
an offseason would look like.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Imagine what that'll look like. Right.
Oh, here we go. 3, 2, and 1.
This 1 week of practice. So imagine you know what a full offseason look like.
Well,
it get dangerous.
I don't know if they're going to want to imagine it.
I love it.
You can't steal Baker's dangerous line.
My wrist is up as we speak because I love me some Shedeur Sanders.
Let me go find that one.
That
for
is
sure.
just.
What do you say? I don't give a darn about the Browns.
Here's what I think.
Playing TLC.
Right,
you got it.
I don't give a damn about the Browns.
But
I do love me some Shedeur Sanders. Don't believe that.
I like the fact that you've got them broken into 2 clips. They haven't like melded them together.
Oh, man.
All right, so 2 things. One, when Frank Caliendo inevitably comes back in studio, you'll do your Deion Sanders for him.
He's got to give me a grade on that.
So we'll see that. And then the poll would have to be, how do you want to write this?
Okay. Well, what is the question in general?
Well, the question in general
is it just simply, do you want to see Deshaun Watson start a game the rest of the year?
I think, you were leaning
No, I'm leaning more to next year.
To next year.
Yeah. Next year.
If he's healthy.
Shedeur finishes the season, as to your word, as a pedestrian quarterback.
How about uninspiring?
Okay,
yeah,
I like that.
Uninspiring end to the season with Shedeur playing all the games versus a guaranteed 100% healthy Deshaun Watson for 17 games. What do you pick? Like, do you want Shedeur next year? I don't know how you're going to word it. You'll have to figure it out during the break.
We may have to have a third answer here. Maybe it's draft a quarterback.
A QB to be named later.
Draft a quarterback in the upcoming draft with the 2 first-round picks.
A bag of used footballs.
Because I don't think they're going to want either one of those options. If Deshaun is uninspiring, Shedeur is uninspiring.
Deshaun is also uninspiring.
They're not going to pick that. So we got to have a third option there, and I think it may have to be AR.
Well, no, they might. They might, only because they might not pin the rest of the season on Shedeur's. They might not view him as a bust just
that's
because.
What I'm saying. I hear you. That's why I think we just got to have a third option. And maybe that's draft a quarterback, move on to something else.
Oh, I thought it was
but that's the runaway favorite.
Well, pick a new team to cheer for. Option 3.
Come on over to the Ravens. You guys, you know what I mean? Come on, there's some familiarity there.
Be like Tito and pick the Steelers.
I don't want to
pick a division
I kind of don't want to give him an out. If we want to get the real science.
Because he's going to be like 86% draft a quarterback.
Yeah. The one thing I'm just trying to zero in on is you hear Deshaun Watson is healthy now. His practice window is open.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't about whether I want to see him this year. To me, this year is about Shedeur.
And
it
Dylan.
Really is.
And Dylan.
And I guess Dylan.
This year was all about.
Yes,
yeah, for
side
sure.
with his fiance. That's right.
That's a mess.
And so,
goodness gracious.
You're right. It technically is more about them.
Yeah.
However, scouts might tell you, or real football people might tell you, that the most talented guy at that position is not either one of those guys. It's the guy that just got his practice window open. They might say that. But he is technically, on paper, more talented than those guys.
But the Houston years are so far in the rearview mirror.
I know, and even the present stuff with the Browns.
Right, it's just not good. Not good.
My contention is that Browns fan will not allow him or herself to believe that Deshaun Watson has any superhero left in him. And that they're done,
especially after these injuries.
No matter
especially
health.
Now.
Well, and I'm magically making him healthy for this
Yeah, but guys coming back.
They'll never be re-injured.
A double,
Dr. Roth, dog.
yeah, a double
That's right.
Achilles tear. That's
Oh, my.
Now, are we doing for all 17 games next year or week one starter?
No, you have him for the entire season healthy.
Okay.
Like, that's the only way this works.
I don't even love how I'm phrasing this.
I
so,
know. It's
you
a
guys,
tough phrasing.
If you feel uninspired at the end of this season about Shedeur Sanders, who would you rather start all 17 games next season? Your two options being Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders.
I love what you wrote. Maybe you add to it. And for this hypothetical, we guarantee that Watson stays healthy for the entire season.
Okay.
Next year. All 17.
Hell's
Because I think what Maddie said is true, is that people are just waiting for that cleat to drop on another injury. And I want it for this.
Well, maybe not. I don't think they're banking on an injury, or I just think they don't believe in Deshaun as a quarterback, and especially now that he's had to come back from this type of injury.
If we really wanted to simplify this, we could just say, Browns fan, who do you believe has a better future? Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders?
Maybe it is that simple,
Honestly, it may be that simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of all this rigmarole,
all
that
this
was more
is sad
fun.
for Browns fans because this is just
because I don't know.
Okay.
Because I almost wonder if that favors Shedeur Sanders because he's only played 2 games.
Of course it does, and he's healthy.
We're trying to add more games of uninspiring football to try to balance this out a little bit.
Okay. All right. Then the first instinct was correct.
Throw it out there.
All right. We've got Stephen Means coming up top of the hour from Cleveland.com, Buckeye beat reporter. He was at the press conference today. How long has this been cooking? Was Hartline USF's first and only choice? What other choices did he have, and how he feels the impact will be for Ohio State on recruiting moving forward? And then the big question is, who will then take over after this is all said and done? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Men, we hear it all the time. A man comes in to get his erectile dysfunction treated, and very soon thereafter, he tells us that his relationship is renewed. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and you should know that ED doesn't just affect you, it also often affects your partner. They can feel undesired, unwanted, they may even feel like you don't love them anymore. At Tri-State Men's Health, we've successfully treated thousands of men for ED with protocols that have success rates as high as 90%, which means if you're like most men, we can get you back to the guy you used to be. You could even last up to an hour or more and find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and give your partner the gift of renewed love. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. The holidays are here, and if you've got a collector in your life, you have to check out Midwest Cards. Thousands of packs and boxes from Pokemon to every sport you can name. It's a full-on collector's dream. Plus, they have signed jerseys and memorabilia that'll make any fan go crazy. The variety is awesome, and the selection legendary. So swing by Midwest Cards today, grab an epic gift or even a gift card, and watch your favorite collector's face light up this holiday season. Get to Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Do you hate holiday pictures because of your teeth? What if a brand new smile was possible?
No matter what the current state of your mouth.
Welcome to Runyon Dental Group, home of the Implant and Smile Center,
where gorgeous, healthy smiles become a reality.
At Runyon, we've built a team of some of the most highly trained arch and implant doctors in the entire nation. This isn't an ordinary dental practice.
We believe that everyone can have a great smile.
Including you, especially you. Your new smile is waiting at Runyon Dental Group.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I cannot imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Tyler Danberg. Ohio State offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach Brian Hartline is expected to become the next head coach at South Florida. Today, head coach Ryan Day confirmed that Hartline will stay with the Buckeyes through the postseason. On National Signing Day, Ohio State has signed 23 to its 2026 class, while on threes, Pete Nakos and Greg Viggins reporting top receiving recruit Chris Henry Jr. has yet to officially sign with Ohio State. When asked about the Buckeyes commit, Ohio State General Manager Mark Pantoni said today he can only speak on players that have signed. Big Ten Football Defensive Awards, Ohio State's Caleb Downs was named Defensive Back of the Year for the second straight season. Arvell Reese was named Linebacker of the Year. Caden McDonald was named Defensive Lineman of the Year. Sonny Styles, Caden Curry, and Davison Igbinosun joined the three as first-team All-Big Ten honorees. Coming up on Rothman and Ice, ESPN's Adam Shefter joins at 1:30 right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Anthony used to ski in his jeans? Are you serious? No, he's not from New Jersey. Back to Rothman and Ice.
Hour number 2. It's been beefy today. Brian Hartline sticking with the program throughout the CFP run. And then it's back down to South Florida to take over the Bulls because Alex Golish became an all-star overnight. And
with the Auburn, right?
The Auburn, now the dominoes fall, and this is the coaching carousel. Our guy, Stephen Means, is usually all over it, affectionately known on this show as Natron, and he's with Cleveland.com. He was at the presser. Stephen, thanks, bud. Appreciate the time.
Anytime.
How many jobs do you feel Brian Hartline was legitimately up for besides this one?
Oh, can you repeat that? Sorry, I'm at the Woody, and obviously the service isn't great.
Oh, no, sorry. Yep, no problem. How many jobs do you feel Brian Hartline was legitimately up for besides South Florida?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think, you know what, the Kentucky job I thought was pretty intriguing simply because, you know, obviously he's got some family ties there with his brother playing there. I believe his family's on the staff. I thought that could have been a good culture fit for him. But I think some of these big boy jobs, like Penn State, obviously that was out there. I don't think there was much of a thing with those situations because we have to remember Hartline doesn't have a lot of coaching experience and he's still just a first-year offensive coordinator as a play caller. So I'm not sure that Penn State would have looked in that direction, which is why a job like South Florida makes so much sense.
All right, I'm sorry, Steven, I want to ask you about Chris Henry. As you can imagine, there's some angst right now amongst Buckeye Nation because of the Hartline news and now Chris Henry not officially signing his papers to 100% be a Buckeye at the moment. What's your understanding of that? But I guess the parties that are involved right now that are trying to pull Chris Henry away from Ohio State.
Yeah, obviously right now the expectation is that he will still sign with Ohio State. At some point he will send that paperwork in. But this is what recruiting is in the year 2025. If you remember, Jeremiah Smith had a very similar situation where he had a ceremony and he announced he was going to Ohio State. And then it was like 7:30 at night and we were still waiting on that paperwork to show up, and it finally showed up. This is kind of similar to that, only tenfold, because the guy that he signed up to go play for is no longer going to be here. I think right now that still happens. I think he's still going to be a Buckeye. But obviously it's a little bit more complicated. There's probably some negotiations that are going on that were going to happen regardless of what was happening with Brian Hartline, because we now live in a world where NIL is a big part of every recruitment, whether people want to admit it or not. But we're now on – it feels like we spent the last month on Ohio State wide receiver watch, but it was for injury reasons. Now we're on Ohio State receiver watch, but it's because of recruiting reasons, and so it just never ends.
Let me ask you this. So – without discounting his impact is incredible, Brian Hartline, and the recruiting. But like you said, the NIL kind of rules the day. So are you kind of struggling with, how much Ohio State would lose in losing Hartline in a recruiting area versus all they have to do is technically pick up the phone and say to a guy, well, what more do you need? Like, I guess that's individual for every different player.
Yeah, I think, listen, what Brian Hartline has done here over the last 7 years, we've never seen somebody start their college coaching career off the way he has, and we'll probably never see it again. So, sure, are there going to be some times over the next couple of years where Ohio State loses out a receiver and we're all going to look at it and go, if Brian Hartline was still in Columbus, they probably would have landed that guy? But it's not like Jeremiah Smith, Cornell Tate, Chris Olave, Marvin Harrison, Buka are the first ever first-round wide receivers that Ohio State has had. They've had some in the past. They'll have some in the future. This is the most recession-proof program in college football. I think the NIL part of it is also just something they're going to have to deal with at this point. And they were probably going to be dealing with that today regardless. This is the best receiver in the country. But the Brian Hartline element probably makes it a little bit more complicated because now it's just another thing that another school, whether it's Oregon, whether it's USC, whether it's West Virginia, where his father played, they can use that as another way to recruit against Ohio State in these situations. That's the name of the game here, right? Everybody's trying to get 5-star recruits.
No doubt, Steven. I know there's a lot going on, and you got a lot to unpack right now, so this may be a tough question to ask. Has your mind wandered down the road of who could maybe fill that role in the years to come at the wide receiver coach spot?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Day goes about this, right? Because he's got to replace his offensive coordinator, but he's also got to replace his wide receivers coach. I mean, if he wants to do it from within, Keenan Bailey spent a lot of time in that wide receiver room before he became the official tight ends coach here. So if he wants to promote from within, maybe he just scoots Keenan Bailey over to the wide receiver room and then goes and finds himself an offensive coordinator who can also run the tight ends room, right? I mean, Chip Kelly's not doing anything right now, right? He's up, but Devin Jordan, who has been around, and he's the guy who has been handling the substitutions on the field, has been an assistant wide receivers coach in this building for a few years now. Ryan Day can go that route. Maybe he goes and steals a wide receiver coach from another program, right? I mean, he stole Carlos Loughlin from Oregon, and their wide receivers coach is pretty good too. Maybe he looks there. But if anything about how Ryan Day handled the defensive coordinator hire when Jim Knowles left taught us anything about how Ryan Day is going to go about this, I don't think he's going to make a quick decision. This is going to be slow and methodical and making sure he gets the right guy in the right seat there. And it worked out for him with Matt Patricia, so I don't know why he would do anything different with the offensive coordinator or wide receiver coaching job.
Are you in a little bit, though, of wait-and-see mode on the impact of this, on whether it'll be business as usual, which is what everyone thinks it could be, versus exactly what Hartline brought to the table?
Yeah, I am. And this is not a Chris Henry thing because I think that relationship has lasted for so long. And he had kind of reached a point where you're not just signing up for Brian Hartline, you're signing up for Ryan Day. I am intrigued in the future, though, with the Chris Henry Juniors of the future, right? Ohio State's got a 5-star recruit in the 2027 class by the name of Jameer Brown, but that's an Ohio guy. So maybe that guy should be a Buckeye regardless. But the next guy who fits the description of Chris Henry or Jeremiah Smith or Carnell Tate in the future, where we're just going, okay, well, Brian Hartline's going to get that guy. I am intrigued to see how that recruitment goes And Ohio State might win them regardless, but maybe these guys don't lock in as quickly as they have under Brian Hartline, where a lot of times you see these kids committing 18 months before their signing day because they just are so eager to play for Brian Hartline in this offense.
So obviously this is going to soak up a lot of the attention today, but Steven, we're looking at a number 1 versus number 2 on Saturday for a Big Ten championship. And so hit us with your thoughts on that game and how you think Ohio State can go into Indiana and handle business against the Hoosiers.
Yeah, isn't the college football calendar fun? You're having draft week and playoff games in the same week. It's just a genius plan. I think it's interesting, right? I think we talked with Kirk Cignetti on Sunday, and he thought there was a lot of value in the way the game went last year with Ohio State, Indiana, and the way Indiana lost to Notre Dame, where he admitted that the moment was maybe a little bit too big for them, right? They had a good season, but it's a little different when you get on the field with a team who was actually built the way that you think that you are built, and it seems like they've learned from that and grown from that with games this year against Oregon, games this year against Iowa and Illinois. But also, as good as they are as a team, I am wondering if that talent gap still maybe exists. And now you're putting Ohio State indoors where they don't have to worry about the weather anymore. And Julian Sand looks as comfortable as ever. And Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate look as healthy as can be. And Bo Jackson is finally emerging. And it's impossible to move the ball in this defense. I am wondering if maybe we're all overthinking this a little bit, and it might just be as simple as Ohio State is significantly a more talented team, even if Indiana is good. And I don't know if I'm ready to make a score prediction yet, but if Ohio State wins this game by 2 scores, I don't think I'll be that shocked.
I'm with you. I think that's the prevailing opinion, that you'll believe Indiana when you see it fully against Ohio State indoors at Lucas Oil. And now they've had lesser teams maybe that have taken Ohio State to 4 quarters. I guess I would be surprised if the game wasn't in doubt in the second half. But you're right. I mean, to see it all the way through is something that we haven't seen since the late 80s. So a lot of people weren't even around. So that will be something to be looking for. Steven, thanks, bud. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, anytime, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Steven Beans with us, Cleveland.com on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. That is that's it. It's the psychology of it. It's that whether or not Indiana's wins over Oregon and Illinois and the way they've blasted some of those teams, is that enough to make people believe to give them a shot? And I think you should give them a shot.
For sure.
I think they're more balanced than most teams. I remember telling you in the beginning of the year that the most surprising thing about Indiana lately, for me, has been they have a defense. Mm-hmm. Because they've had offensive players. They've had Michael Penix. They've had receivers. They've had guys that they've had teams that could put up points.
Some good running backs,
but they were giving up as many as they were scoring.
Right.
And so I think their balance might be the big part of what keeps them around for 4 quarters.
To your point, AR, these are the top 2 teams in the country in points allowed that you're watching on Saturday. Ohio State, number 1, giving up less than 8 a game. And then on Indiana's side of things, they're giving up 11 a game. And so, look, there's on that track, you're going to see the playmakers for Ohio State pop off because you look at the Oregon and the Penn State game, and especially the wide receivers for Oregon and Penn State. Those guys were able to rip off some nice plays through the air for them, so that'll be in play for them. But I just think, to your point, Indiana has a nice balance of what they can do that maybe can keep Ohio State's defense honest, even though we know that Ohio State defense is the ultimate test right now.
It'll have people energized, that's for sure. 1 versus 2, prime time. In Indy. All right, if you're not energized for that, and I know people throw around that phrase like self-improvement month and all that, well, just be honest with yourself. If you're not feeling the way you think you should on a daily basis, then be honest. And if you know it's not for like lack of sleep or whatever, like if you don't have the energy you need to get through a day and you're a guy in your 30s, 40s, 50s, then it might be time to find out. And the place to find out is Synergenics and Low T Center. And I've been talking about them for years because I think there is power in the numbers. I know that a lot of guys have the fear of the unknown. Well, if I don't go to the doctor, if I don't find out, then I'll just prolong it. That is not a good way to go through life. Don't have that hanging over you. Find out if there's something that can help you. And if you started to notice something's off and you're slipping in your routine, and maybe the answer is testosterone replacement therapy, go to the experts, Synergenics and Low T Center. And most of the guys that I've talked to say it's changed their life. It all starts with a simple free TRT test. You can walk in before 10. You can book it ahead, which is smart, at fixmylowt.com. That way you can pick the day and time that works for you. The testosterone is pure. It's not compounded. And guys then are suddenly saying they feel full of energy, and they're not waiting for it to kick in. This is the best time to do it. The TRT test is free, and like I said, the power is in the number. Find out where you land on that scale. The best you is possibly waiting. Don't wait any longer. Start that process to a new you moving into the new year by booking at fixmylowt.com. We will come back with ins and outs. Next, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score.
Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, you get early payout on parlays too. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. An app only.
Toyotathon is on, and there's no better way to get in the spirit of the season than with a new Toyota, like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through January 5th, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys, or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $269 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details, or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
When you're building a nursery school, elementary school, charter school, high school, vocational school, or jiu-jitsu school, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and most rental locations in Columbus, you can count on us to get you the right equipment at the right price right now. No matter what you got going in or going up. All powered by people. For equipment know-how, support, transport, and training. No wonder the Columbus builders who are building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The water's standing in the tub. My toilets will not flush. The smell's getting bad in here. I need help in a rush.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you want to walk, play pickleball, and enjoy other fun activities to stay healthy, but you can't because of bad feet? Hi, this is Mike, and the Good Feet store wants to help.
I just had difficulty walking. I tried them on in the store, and my foot felt so much better.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet, knees, or back problems get in the way of staying healthy and having fun.
Thanks to the Good Feet store, I bowl in 3 nights a week.
Get back to doing what you love. At the Good Feet store, we'll personally fit you with high-quality arch supports to maximize your comfort. Stop in the Good Feet store or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Come on, kids, we're going to Grandma's house.
Grandma's house! Grandma's house!
What do we do to be safe and ready to go? We buckle up.
Buckle up!
Phones down.
Thumbs down!
And when we go,
take it slow.
And if you drink,
don't drive. And off we go.
ODOT, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and the Ohio Traffic Safety Office are doing their part to keep roads safe. Do your part to make sure everyone makes it home safe for the holidays.
Ryan Day's Buckeyes head to Indy for a Big Ten title matchup against the Indiana Hoosiers.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday at 2:30 with the kick at 8.
Turn down the TV and turn us up. The home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. Fan weather.
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Into Central Ohio, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. We're looking at quiet weather today, but cold. We'll see temperatures this afternoon into the low 30s, but some sunshine will come through. A little bit of light snow early Thursday, but then we drop to single digits by early Friday. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present In or Out.
Just a little of the old in and out.
All right, TLC. What you got cooking over there? By the way, Shefty bottom of the hour, 1:30.
Yes. Are you in or out on there being 2 National Signing Days?
It doesn't bother me because I'm not in the mix like the coaches are. So for them, they may be a little frustrated by this. But, yeah, it doesn't bother me, AR, that there's 2 of them. It's fine. Recruiting stuff, I know for a lot of people, may not be something you really lock on that much. So the fact that it's spread out a bit, yeah, it doesn't bother me. I'm good. I'm not mad at it.
Seems oddly timed. I mean, they're getting ready for conference championship games, but I always liked it after the season. It just felt normal that first Wednesday in February, but everything gets pushed back. And I know it. Listen, the tail is wagging the dog, as they say. This is not normal stuff.
Could you imagine right now, like, if we were a fly on the wall, just wherever Chris Henry Jr. is at the moment, and just the negotiating that's probably happening? And I'm sure part of it, too, is...
Got a few car dealerships in there with him.
Probably. But, like, who's the wide receiver coach going to be? And so maybe he's making a call to Coach Day right now. And he probably can't give him that answer right now, or maybe he can. Right. If it is kind of what Stephen Means said, hey, a guy in-house that you may know a little bit in Keenan Bailey, he's going to be the guy we shall see. But, yeah, there's just so many moving parts right now at the moment. The people for USC, the people for Oregon and Ohio State, I'm sure, are running around trying to cook up the best offer, I guess is the right way to call it, for Chris Henry Jr. at the moment.
He certainly is entitled now to the right to step back for a second.
Yeah.
Now, my guess is Ryan Day said in the press conference today that, let me get this accurate, because I was wondering, because a bunch of us were talking about, well, he obviously wasn't blindsided.
Well,
great
team covers? Great teams cover?
No. He did say that Ryan Day said that it just kind of came together within the last day for Hartline to be South Florida's head coach. He said that today. And when he said that, I started to think, well, when did Chris Henry know? Like, who? I assume Ryan Day knew before Chris Henry did.
I would think.
Let me tell my boss technically before I tell what I thought was going to be a future receiver for me, who's not going to be my guy. Like, I guess equally he owed them both.
Right.
So Chris Henry is entitled to take a step back here. I don't know if it's a leverage step back or if it's the stuff you talked about, which is, I know I'm going to be taken care of no matter where I go.
For sure.
I can't imagine all deals are exactly the same, but the schools he's probably thinking of, if you're entering into a conversation with the number 1 rated wide receiver, unlike when people call the best. We don't know if he's the best. He's the number 1 rated. Best describes like that he's more talented than everybody else that's being recruited. Possible. But he is the number 1 rated receiver in the country. And so I feel like maybe it is more about like what you're saying, which is, hey, this guy thought I was going to...
He's not there.
This guy who's been coaching NFLer after NFLer to conveyor belt is now not going to be my position
and
coach.
There's something, too, for me, if Dan Lanning calls you and says, hold on, I got Phil Knight on the other side offering you a big old bag and maybe your own shoe or whatever it may be, and you can get that combination of the stuff with Uncle Phil's money, the Nike stuff, and Oregon's got a nice track record right now bringing in good wide receivers.
Wouldn't they have already done that?
I'm just saying at this point, Phil
now
Knight
that they see blood in the water with Hartline leaving,
here's even more.
First off, great teams cover. That's the first thing. Great teams cover.
You know what my favorite part about that is? When I heard
Adam King has no idea where it's
from.
So
when I heard that, I'm going to whisper because he's probably wrong. When I heard that, I hit the talkback button. This was an oppressor or
no, this was a Ryan Day show.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to keep the ruse going.
Sorry.
I hit the talkback button. I was in here eating lunch, and I said to Cole, "Hey, that's a great drop. We got to get that."
Yeah.
And to this day, you're exactly right. Adam really believes,
nervously,
that he literally means that, which is great.
But he gets nervous about it. He's like, wait,
How did I miss that?
Yeah, something like that. You're like, is Ryan Day going to be upset that you guys are making
Talking
him
about gambling?
Yeah. We got to whisper because Adam might be back there listening.
All right. What else?
I stumbled into a random conversation yesterday. Are you in or out on Mike Ditka being the most popular coach in the history of sports?
I got to be out. Because the first guy that I just thought about was Phil Jackson.
Deion Sanders is a contender.
For coach?
You said popular. What is the definition of that?
That's up for interpretation.
The most recognizable coach to a general sports fan?
Because there's
larger than life?
Because there's greatest. There's most well-known.
Mystique and aura?
Maddie's not... He's on track here with the human coat hanger.
Phil?
You're on it, I think. I think that was...
11 chips for Phil?
And to me, it's, 11 with the Bulls in L.A. And,
Well, I mean, was Phil Jackson more popular in Chicago than Mike Ditka?
It was a longer period of success.
But we're not doing coaches in Chicago, right? This is
just
coaches in
Chicago for 1,000.
I just compared them head to head just because they were in the same city.
Coach
I think maybe
is
at the same time.
Not Mike Ditka. I don't think.
No.
Other contenders are John Madden, Pat Riley,
Saban,
Chuck Daly,
Saban.
I'm surprised you haven't said Belichick.
Yeah, he's got to be in that.
I guess.
He's.
I mean, more like persona, character.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of they almost become their own character, sort of.
Okay.
Not just
the SNL skit helped. The success of the Bears helped. Super Bowl Shuffle helped. All the characters. That era helped.
For sure.
Hurricane Ditka. That's all there. You're right as far as the notoriety. I would still say, in my mind...
Parcells.
No, I would say Bobby Knight. I still think that has an aura about it when you say it. I think it hits a casual fan differently than Mike Ditka. So I'll go Bob Knight.
That is a really good answer. I know how this one's going to go. Are you in or out on the G5 being guaranteed a spot in the CFP? Because they may get 2 slots.
Well, this is only if Virginia loses, right?
Correct. If Duke beats Virginia.
Spread on that game.
Let's check it out, man.
Yeah, I would love to know what the spread is on that game. Because that's how, to your guys' point, that could happen.
As it currently stands, just for those listening while they're looking that up.
I got it. If Duke closer than I thought.
If Duke beats Virginia.
No.
Wait, what?
You're not putting in a 5-loss team.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying if Duke beats Virginia, James Madison will probably be a second group of 5 team in addition to Tulane versus
the Dolly Madison Gems.
I got to be
North
out
Texas.
On this. It doesn't even feel right to me. No, their key card can't get them into this room. I'm sorry. Not 2. No. After last year, Boise was supposed to be the team and they had a all-world college talent last year in Genty, and they still did nothing of significance in the playoffs. So I'm out on 2 group of 5 teams getting it.
So it goes to best versus deserving, right? Because I think we'll have this argument later at 2 o'clock about best versus deserving, because I think we're finally at the pinnacle of best versus deserving. We finally.
I'm so done with the committee. I'm done.
What do we do then?
It screwed me.
I get
talk about it at 2.
They can move the goalpost on anything and everything that they want.
They blanked me long enough.
That's kind of where I'm at. Hey, real quick, what is the line on that game? Duke
3.5.
So Virginia's laying 3.5.
3.5.
Okay.
And there should be points. So that's
interesting.
The Dukies. I know the Dukies have beaten 7 Power 4 teams, and I get it, but you putting them in over Miami or Notre Dame?
ACC such a weak conference.
No way.
I got one more for you.
Yep.
Are you in or out on there being a massive fallout at Penn State? We still don't know who their head coach is, and they have no recruits.
Yeah, I saw today that their class ranks right now 135th.
I think Harvard was above them.
Which is, oh my goodness.
We're still evaluating over there.
Was James Franklin taking a little victory lap with a crumble cookie or something today?
He definitely was.
That's awesome. Yeah. Being a little petty. I'm here for that.
They're on the brink.
This is getting real spooky for them.
They're falling way behind, and this thing could implode pretty quickly.
No doubt.
And then somebody will buy low and to build it back. But
they've been swinging and missing.
Yeah.
BYU's coach said, no, I'm good. He got himself a new extension. Brent Key, Georgia Tech's head coach, just got an extension today. So, I mean, as far as names that you could bring in that would really get that fan base excited, I don't see it for them right now.
Well, there actually is one that will do it 217.
That's a long tease.
Man.
You know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Oh, that would be nuts.
All right.
That would be nuts.
How's that for a tease?
I'm here for it.
I may prefer that.
We got Adam Shefter up next in 2 minutes, and we'll get his feeling on everything going on in the league. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. You know when you grow a beard or cut your hair and the mirror surprises each day, then it fades? Well, here's what doesn't fade. Seeing this thinner version of me staring back every single morning. 2 years after dropping 50 pounds with Awaken 180, I'm still doing a double take. And let me tell you, it feels awesome. Awaken 180 didn't just change my weight, it changed how I see myself, literally. I dropped my 50 pounds during the holidays. It's the best time to start, in my opinion. What's stopping you? Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Shefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, we appreciate our guy, ESPN senior NFL insider Adam Shefter. We floated down the trough today, but he's with us now live, and it's good to have you, Adam. How you been?
Congratulations on the big win Saturday. Good win for the program. Great game by your team, and congratulations.
Thanks, man. It was it went as you had predicted, and a lot of people had predicted. However, the last several years have gone the exact opposite, and that's where the intrigue was and the mystery was. But there was I thought the start of the game. How did you feel about that though? The start of the game, you're like you get a pick, your first drive, you're getting 3, but I thought the second you guys didn't cash in for 7, it actually worked against you because they knew they had to. When they got in the red zone, they knew they had to get 7.
Yeah, no, listen, it started out, it was the big run, it was the pick, and there was a part of it, is this going to happen again?
Right.
That did go into my mind. I'm sure I was not the only one that wondered the same thing.
On both sides, yeah.
Yeah, right, but it was not the case. Your team is too good, and our team just was not at that level and has not been at that level this season.
All right, so this is interesting for Browns fans, and this may turn into nothing, and you can tell me if you think it will or not. So the Browns open the 21-day window for Deshaun Watson. He can practice without counting on the active roster, and I guess at any point they could slam the window closed, and they won't activate. They can activate Watson and then play him or not. Like, where do you think this is headed for this season?
I think I'd be surprised if he played for them again. That's my initial gut reaction to it. I think maybe, you open it up just to see, give him the opportunity. You want to keep your options open. It's interesting. I knew that they weren't going to do it last month. I knew it was a possibility this month. It's one of those things that just makes me curious. I got to speak to people before I could really form an opinion on it. I don't have an informed opinion about it, other than I find it to be interesting.
All right, let's stay in Ohio and slide down to Cincinnati, because I think there's some Bengals fans that are feeling pretty good right now, Shefty, after, coming back and Joey B and seeing him win a game, and you look at the AFC North standings, and that's not completely put to bed just yet. But the availability of T. Higgins right now, what's your understanding of where he is dealing with the concussion stuff?
Going to be limited in practice today, and I think that that's a step in the right direction. It's an encouraging sign. The fact that he will be back out there at all, that tells me there's at least some hope that he's going to be out there. He's working through concussion protocol right now. Limited today. We'll see if he can get through the protocol this week and be back in time for Sunday.
So let's tackle a couple receivers here. Amon Ra, is he a game timer for this big one for them against Dallas on Thursday?
He hasn't practiced the last 2 days at all. They've yet to issue their injury report for tomorrow to state how they will designate him for the game. My guess is he's going to be questionable, and my guess is that they could try to play. I think I'd be surprised, but he's such a tough guy that I don't put anything past him. That's the whole thing. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but my guess is it's a long shot for him to be out there tomorrow night.
So the Kansas City Chiefs are at a very interesting spot, Shefty. A lot of pressure on them right now to get things going and get things going very quickly. But here they are now dealing with another speed bump. Well, hit us with the update on Josh Simmons, the former Buckeye, and what's going on with him.
Yeah, went on IR. He's got a dislocated elbow. He's out a minimum of 4 games. That basically knocks him out for the rest of the regular season. And if they can make it back to the playoffs, I'm sure he'll be part of the postseason push, but it's been a tough first year for him. Obviously, a lot of things he's gone through personally, it sounds like. And I don't know if the year has gone the way that he would have liked, but here we are, and he's out for basically the rest of the regular season now.
What are you hearing about former Buckeye Marvin Harrison? He came back from the appendicitis, and now it looks like he's got something else brewing.
Has a heel injury, not practicing today. Be surprised if he plays on Sunday. Not expecting him to be out there for the Cardinals game against the Rams. We'll see if it's a multi-week injury or not. Again, tough season for him too, because he played well, then kind of flat, and then he was starting to play well again, and then he gets the appendicitis out of nowhere, comes back, heel injury, limping around. I was watching him last week. I'm like, why do they have him out there? Like, get him off the field. Like, he didn't look right. And they finally took him off the field, and I don't think he's going to play this week.
It's been a good year for Indy to this point so far, but now here the injury bugs kind of crept into their building. So a two-parter here, Shefty. How healthy right now is Daniel Jones, and also Sauce Gardner and the injury that just popped up for him last week? How significant is that for him and them?
Well, it's significant enough on Sauce to sideline him multiple weeks. I don't think it'll be season-ending. And so that's a good thing. We'll see if they get him back before the end of the regular season. So, Daniel Jones, he's got the hairline fracture in his fibula. It's not enough to sideline him or prevent him from playing, but it is enough to alter the way that he plays. And I think his lateral movement is compromised some. So that's not ideal. That's not great. But he's out there, and they're struggling right now to maintain the level that they had earlier in the year. You lose Sauce Gardner, and we'll see how that goes right now as they compete for that division.
Do you feel like that the Vikings situation is going to lead to some fallout? Like that the quarterback stuff, like either from the front office or Adolfo Mensa or something there, or they obviously they have a lot of faith in KOC as the quarterback whisperer. That's not working, and there's a lot going on there. Their offensive line is a little dinged up as well. But is there a fallout coming? Whether the Vikings have to go back into the quarterback mix here next year, or if somebody takes the fall, are you sensing that if this thing doesn't look a little better?
Well, I would say that they still believe in J.J. McCarthy. But I also think that they also recognize that they have to get somebody in there because you have to have – look, last year they had Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, and J.J. McCarthy. This year, both them left, and they traded Sam Howell before the beginning of the season. Brought in Carson Wentz. He suffered a season-ending injury. And it was Max Brosmer time in Seattle, and we saw how that worked out. So I think that they need somebody that if J.J. is not healthy, if J.J. is not developing, that they're confident enough to be able to turn to and go from there. And so I don't know who that's going to be, but they're going to bring in somebody at the quarterback position.
Is JJ playing this week?
I think he's going to make it back through protocol, barring anything unexpected.
How are you feeling about this MVP race as we're getting kind of close to the finish line of the regular season? You got Drake May on one side of the country doing some really good things, and on the other side, you got one of the youngs in the NFL and Stafford still playing at a high level. Between those two guys or maybe somebody else, Shefter, your thoughts on the MVP race at the moment?
I don't think right now that there's a clear-cut winner at this time, and I think that we're entering Week 14. I think it'll be decided here in the final 4 or 5 weeks, like that, 14, 15, 16, 17, 5 weeks to go. And I just think that the MVP race is yet to be decided. Like, if we go back 3 or 4 weeks ago, everybody thought it was Jonathan Taylor, and I don't think that we're talking or thinking like that today. And it still could turn out to be Jonathan Taylor, and maybe he makes some kind of big push here and wins it. But I just think it's a different – I think we're at a time where somebody here is going to forge ahead in the final 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I mean, I'm making this up. But what if the Dallas Cowboys overtake the Philadelphia Eagles? Could Dak win it? Mm-hmm. What if the Bucs come alive? Could Baker Mayfield jump back in? What if the Seahawks overtake the Rams? Could Jackson, Smith, and Jigba win it? Right? Like there's a lot of ways this could still go, and I just think it's too early to say how it will.
Maddie's guy, Jaden Daniels, is he going to risk it? Is he coming back? Hadn't
been cleared for contact this week. My guess is we're not going to see him this week. They're not ready to say that. I think they're thinking he's got a chance, a quote-unquote chance. I'll believe it when I see it. Like, why are they bringing him back this week, particularly when Marcus Mariota's playing well?
He was.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me right now. So we'll see what they decide, but that would be illogical to me.
He doesn't want to get Wally pipped, Shefty. I'm kidding you.
He's not going to get Wally pipped.
I know. I'm kidding you. I'm kidding you.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff, my man. Hope your Thanksgiving was good with the family, and we appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
Congratulations again, guys. Have a great week. We'll talk next week.
You too, bud. Thanks. Adam Shefter, senior NFL insider for ESPN. He was on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, we come back, and Caleb Downs taking that defense to Indy. What's the difference between last year's defense and this year's? He'll tell you next in the Bulletin. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Skyline's Mac and Cheese 3-Way is back. This time with white cheddar cheese and creamy cavatappi pasta. Try a Mac and Cheese 3-Way with Skyline's original chili or their new chicken chili at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my
life in ways that I cannot imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Van Scoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Okay, Santa, pre-flight checklist time. Nice list? Check. Naughty list? Check. Meyer shopping list? Oh, Blixen's bells. All good. I've got the Meyer app right here. Okay, let's see. Sugar, spice. Gingerbread is nice. Candy, ham, crackers. Boy, Meyer has fa la la low prices on it all.
And a few dozen cookies just to be safe.
Good call, big guy. Order sent.
Just in the Saint Nick of time.
Bring more good to life with the seasonal savings at Meijer.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you can save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
McRib season is here at McDonald's. Right now, enjoy a McRib and pair it with our world-famous fries and an icy cold Dr. Pepper at participating McDonald's for a limited time.
McRib is here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Last year, I remember running around Hollywood Casino, hugging and high-fiving everyone during the scoop and score. I remember dancing around the sportsbook during the Natty. I'm Scotty Vegas, and there's no place to watch a game, especially a championship game, like Hollywood Casino Columbus and the sportsbook. Let's watch together. Prizes, great food, amazing screens, a championship watch party Saturday night. Join the fans Saturday night, starting at 8. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
It's playoff time. Who will the Buckeyes play? Where will they play? Let's find out together. Join Dom Tabiri, Timmy Hall, Nicole Sheeran, and Dean Sanzenbacher for Chasing the Championship.
Sunday at noon on 10 TV Plus and the Fans YouTube.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another furnace breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day furnace installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. Spread staying put at 4.5 right now. Ohio State favorite Saturday night at Lucas Oil. Over under 48.
You mentioned
hasn't moved.
You mentioned that Duke Virginia game.
Yeah,
57.5 over under for that game. Going to be electric. Georgia, Alabama, 47.5 for those interested in the SEC title game. Spread on that one. Georgia laying 2.5 currently.
Mm-hmm. It's another game that will not punish Bama. We'll get to that top of the hour. And who knows? Maybe they win it. All right, so Caleb Downs was named Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten, which may be obvious to a lot of people. So he's clearly the number one guy on the number one defense. He's the Heisman of the defense. He's the Heisman of of nationwide.
Well, I think maybe some people would make a case for Arvell this year with the season that he had. I mean, those two guys were obviously dominant forces, but Arvell's got some momentum behind him to be a top 10, top 15 pick if he decides to come out.
He was linebacker of the year.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, those two guys were just absolutely lights out all year. And just the story of Caleb and Julian, just both guys that were down there in Tuscaloosa. Nick Saban says, I'm good. Ohio State takes advantage of that. And Caleb, for 2 years in a row, has been the best safety in the entire country. And so that guy just all over the defense has made plays and been just a thorn in the side of offenses. And he's going to do the same thing in the NFL when he gets there. But I'm sure his plan is to do the same thing for a few more games for Ohio State. So credit to him, man, for coming in to this program and being what we were told he was supposed to be.
So Caleb is Defensive Player of the Year and Defensive Back of the Year. Cade McDonald is Defensive Lineman of the Year in the Big Ten, and Arvell was the linebacker of the year. Here is Caleb Downs on the difference between last year's defense and this year's.
I think a little bit of a different mindset just because everybody doubted us at the beginning of the season. So we knew that we had to come into the season trying to prove ourselves, and I think we've carried that into every game with the same type of intensity level. And I think that's been a positive for us, just coming in knowing that we have to prove ourselves and play at a high level every game.
It's a good point based on the fact that everyone just made the assumption that since they were the national champs that everything would be fine. They certainly had to rise up. I know all the questions, and maybe more of the pressure was on the quarterback position, knowing, what you had with Will Howard. But this defense, certainly, you added Bo Atkinson. You weren't really sure where that was going and how much that would be. And then C.J. Hicks was going to be a big part of that defense.
Yeah.
Now he's active again, but there were some question marks. These were not household names.
No, and
the Eldrick Houstons and the Tywone Malones, they weren't household names.
And we didn't know that this type of Arvell Reese was going to show up every Saturday, right? Like just this guy that down there in the trenches can get after the passer, can come out and do some things in coverage. Like at least for me, I didn't know that this type of guy was in there, right? And you look at the body type, and he always looked the part. But yeah, he absolutely put it all together. And I just think on the back end as well, I think IGB, Davison Ingbenoson's had himself a good year. So I won't be surprised if he gets some Big Ten honors as well. So just offenses all year, there's just not a lot of places you can pick on this defense. There's guys everywhere that are going to hurt you when you have the talent that they have combined with the play caller doing some stuff that he's been doing, playing some magic tricks on some of these offenses, man. This has just been an awesome product to watch.
All right, I was going to check on so Caden Curry, obviously an Indiana guy, and we heard from him yesterday, but I didn't hear this on whether his family is going to be torn as far as any Hoosiers over there.
Growing up, everybody was an Indiana basketball fan in my family growing up. So, football really wasn't something that Indiana was known for. And so you really didn't have many Indiana football fans. But I definitely have a lot of Indiana in my family. And, they always choose me over a school. So I feel like they're all Ohio State fans now.
I hear it.
The Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
You hear it, AR? When you played it yesterday, I was like, there's a little Burrow in there.
Okay, so
a little.
There was a great young man who used to work here at the Fan named Hayden Heilsorn.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that I was the first to say to Maddie, oh my God, it's Joe Burrow. Like, it's not even close to me when I heard Hayden. In fact, before you got here, TLC, I made him read a soundbite.
I'm the one who replaced him.
Oh, so you Wally pipped him. All right.
I'm the one who
right. I don't know if that is amazing. I did not.
I have his desk. Was it my first day here?
You fit the suit.
Exactly. Right. My first day here, Adam King was all upset. Oh, you gave Hayden's desk away? That was my greeting when I first got here my first day.
And let's talk about what he did with desks, if you really want to talk about it. Adam.
What Adam did with desks.
Ask him in the next break.
Ask him when he played Cubicle Wars out there.
Okay.
Yeah, ask him
when
in the
a
next
certain
break.
person left and how long it took him to switch.
I'm going to guess day of.
Maybe minute of.
Oh, I think I could piece this together.
Yeah, piece it together.
But ask him because I'd love to hear his response.
So Adam King used to have the middle desk.
Yeah, that's right.
Correct. You're picking up what we're putting
Gotcha.
down.
Yeah. I mean, the body wasn't cold. It was...
Dave Holmes, if you're listening, your desk has been
He knows. He knows.
Your desk has been captured.
Yeah. He wanted a view, a window seat.
But
right?
his desk
He's sick
now-
of being in the middle of the aisle.
His windows that he has at his desk are full of credentials. He can't see anything.
Well,
if he
let's
tried to
say
look up
what
and
it
look
is.
through it.
Pictures
Dude,
of
it's
himself.
just pictures of himself.
Yeah, don't say credentials.
No, they are
So you
credentials.
look up and it's pictures of him.
It's just like one-off events that he got credentials for with his face everywhere, all over his desk.
Oh, man.
Anyway, Hayden Heilshorn, I made him read a soundbite once because I thought he was Joe. The voice, the cadence, everything was exactly there. So let me listen to Curry again and see if, because it did not hit me that way.
I mean, growing up, everybody was an Indiana basketball fan in my family growing up. So, I mean, football really wasn't something that Indiana was known for. And so you really didn't have many Indiana football fans. But they definitely have a lot of Indiana in my family. And, I mean, they always choose me over a school. So I feel like they're all Ohio State fans now.
Let's see.
You know, I thought second half I started to put it more where I wanted it and settled in a little bit. Certainly missed some throws early that I typically make, but, you know, after that I felt pretty comfortable back there. I thought the O-line did great. We ran it well. Obviously, defense played great, so I'm just going to keep getting better.
It's close.
I think the clip you played yesterday, for me, there was a little bit more Burrow in that one.
Curry's got a little more of a, there's a little twang in there.
There was today.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of the Indiana twang. You guys got that going on over there?
I wasn't born there.
Do you still have it? Play the first 5 seconds.
Which one was
it's
it?
right out of the gate. Whatever you just played.
The one today.
First 5 seconds.
Okay, all right.
Has some sauce on it today.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
First 5 seconds.
All right.
Definitely. I talked to when the coach was there when I was getting recruited. It was Tom.
There it is. Yep, there it is. It's the first 5 seconds. But we get Hayden on the horn, and I don't know. We could sell it as Joe Burrow is joining us now.
Yeah, it was close.
The Brian
No
Heating and
doubt.
Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, that is today's Buckeye Bulletin. All right, CFP and the insulation that they've given Notre Dame. How safe is it? And everything else that is showcasing the flaws of the committee. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here in the Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. Get Eco.
Every kid deserves new toys at Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians donate thousands of dollars to Toys for Tots each year. And this year will be our biggest donation ever.
Are you willing to buy a new toy for a little kid this Christmas?
Every Eco location in Ohio is officially a Toys for Tots drop-off location.
And every Eco plumber, electrician, and HVAC technician will be delighted to transport any new unwrapped toys that you would like to donate to Toys for Tots.
Buy a toy for a kid this Christmas,
or a bunch of new toys,
and give them to any Eco technician you happen to see.
To drop off a new unwrapped toy at the Eco location nearest you, just go to geteco.com for our street address.
Get Eco.
Generous plumbers, Merry Christmas electricians, and buy a kid a new toy this year, HVAC technicians.
Geteco.com.
Technology is meant to connect us, but when organizations rely on disconnected systems and outdated platforms, it's no wonder teams struggle to move as one. Plant Moran joins your team to close the gaps between strategy and execution, and between your people and your technology. Together, we design smart roadmaps and modernize systems so you can streamline operations, access accurate insights in real time, and become AI ready. Plant Moran, your goals and tech strategy in sync.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
In Columbus, how you roll up on game day matters. And with Polestar are redefining the driving experience. The Polestar 3 isn't just an electric SUV. It's an SUV that drives like a sports car. Precise, powerful, silent enough to hear the crowd before you see the stadium. Drive it today at Polestar Columbus. or visit polestarcolumbus.com for a test drive and to learn about our competitive lease offers.
Hi, I'm Laura De Leon, president of Key Bank in Central Ohio. At Key, we're all about helping our neighbors. As your bank, we understand that we have both the ability and the responsibility to help our neighbors thrive. Whether they're trying to buy a car to take them to their new job, or tackle debt that feels unmanageable, or simply trying to do more with what they have, Key Bank is there to meet them in that moment. Key Bank opens doors.
All credit products are subject to credit approval. Key Bank, member FDIC.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Things are going to be busy between now and the end of the year. You got holiday gatherings, school functions for the kids, families are getting together. I know. Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and the last thing you want to worry about this holiday season is whether your roof is going to make it through another Ohio winter. One call to Victor's Home Solutions, my guys, to schedule that free 21-point roof inspection will put your mind at ease, and you want to have a peaceful mind. A highly trained roof inspector will carefully examine every inch of that roof, checking the 21 most common areas of roofing failure. Then they go over their results with you and discuss your options going forward. Most of the time, problems can be fixed with a minor repair, but if it's time for a new roof, Victor's offers money-saving discounts and financing terms to make paying easy. And don't forget, they're so confident in their skilled installers, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. So call or go online and schedule the free 21-point roof inspection today. 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Ohio State offensive coordinator Brian Hartline was named South Florida's next head coach, but he will stay with the team through the postseason per Buckeyes head coach Ryan Day.
As a head coach, it's gratifying to see one of your assistants get one of these opportunities, and I think he's going to do great. I think it's a great opportunity for him, and looking forward to see how he does, and so that's exciting for him.
Hartline replaces Dublin native Alex Golesh, who is now at Auburn. National Signing Day top receiving recruit Chris Henry Jr. has yet to officially sign with Ohio State per On3, while four-star running back Legend Bay flipped back from Ohio State to Tennessee. Buckeyes swept the Big Ten's defensive awards. Caleb Downs named Defensive Player and Defensive Back of the Year. Arvell Reese Linebacker of the Year, and Caden McDonald Defensive Lineman of the Year. This update is sponsored by Green & Sons, family-owned and operated for over 45 years. Find your next Kubota tractor at Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville in Raymond.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, hour number 3. Hockey and Hounds with Z, bottom of the hour, coming off perhaps a game that we may look back at in March and say, that was the one. That was the one they needed. That was the one that, I don't know. You know, the old, I don't want to overplay this, but we became a team tonight, boys.
Okay.
Like, I think, like, when you have to make up for Marchie and make up for Olivier, and guys have to step up, and you seal a lead. You have a 2-goal lead with 12 to go. You have a 1-goal lead with 10 to go. Like, you see it fizzling again. Like, I actually see maybe that it may not be as much positive as it is. They could not let that lead slip away. You just can't keep stacking those.
Yeah, they have to stop.
Because then it goes to the mindset. So that may be big. We'll have Z on at 2:30. This is an update on recruiting, and this is one where, listen, everything can't go their way with Hartline leaving today. I couldn't imagine that everything was going to stay perfect for them. And so a 4-star wide receiver, Caden Dixon Wyatt, you can give me his background, Maddie. He's flipped. He flipped from the Buckeyes to USC.
Yep.
And that really wasn't the one that got everybody too concerned, although that happened before the word came down that Chris Henry the number 1 rated receiver was still going to sign with Ohio State. That was almost like imminent. And now there's been a little bit of delay on that, on where that's headed. We don't know.
Yeah.
And then there's a 4-star running back / wide receiver, Legend Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Good name.
It is a good name. He's flipped from Ohio State to Tennessee, where he originally had committed. And that this is not a shocker. Like, I didn't think they'd get everybody. Right? I mean, like with Hartline leaving, did you think that everything was going to be perfect?
No, not at all. And especially with the money that can be thrown around, but also the uncertainty is right now these guys don't know who their position coach would be. Like, I think these guys could look at the offense that Ryan Day runs and feel good about that. And also, like, hey, they're going to have one of the best quarterbacks in the country next year coming back as well, and all those good things, right, that you could have some belief in. But the long-term plan right now, you make some calls up here to Columbus, and maybe Coach Day doesn't have those answers for them. And so you go back to something that you're comfortable with. And Josh Heupel and that offense over the last few years has been a high-flying act when they've had their things in order. So you can understand why, hey, I'm going back to where I was originally, and Brian Hartline was an absolute dude out there on the recruiting trail. So this is going to be some of the ripple effect that happens over the next probably day or two, or hopefully not longer than that for Coach Day's sake, because I think what's baked into some of this reaction too from Buckeye fans is the wide receiver position is such a sexy and fun position to watch. You get up on Saturdays, you know that, hey, man, look, we're going to go watch Jeremiah and Carnell play. We watched all these receivers play for years, and it's an enjoyable thing on Saturdays. And so when you take some of these guys away and you take away the guy that helped some of that happen, there is going to be a pretty high level of concern for Buckeye fans. But Coach Day stepped to the podium today, and he sounded confident, and I don't think that's fake. I think it's real. I think in his mind he has a plan of where this is going to go and who he's going to hire. And I think in time you will see some big-time playmakers on the wide receiver position still find their way coming to Columbus.
Yeah, I don't think you go all in on that it doesn't matter, because if it didn't matter, then we wouldn't be praising Brian Hartline the way we are. Like, you couldn't just lose him and say, oh, well. It was kind of the same thing that happened when Urban left. And, if Urban Meyer was considered perhaps the best college football coach ever, outside of maybe Saban, like if he was considered that, then him leaving and just going to Ryan Day, there was some question. You didn't know.
Right.
Because the logic would tell you, well, you're going to replace maybe the best ever with the best ever? Like, it doesn't make sense. And obviously things have gone very well now for Ryan Day. And I just feel like this is a logical thing that might happen. And you're right. We'll never know whether it's like what his mindset was. But the fact that these guys create relationships with the guys that recruit them at their position. And when that relationship severs, now that I'm not going to be there, it would make sense for a lot of these guys to reconsider.
And you go back to some of the relationships you've built with other wide receiver coaches around the country. And those guys are saying, hey, we got this plan for you and what you could be and yada, yada, yada. And that just brings you more comfort than the unknown of where Ohio State is headed right now, specifically with your coach.
The flaw in the college football playoff rankings is showing itself again. And I think that we've always thrown out these phrases, best versus most deserving. Well, I feel like most deserving should always win the tiebreaker. It should. I don't believe that when it comes down to tiebreakers, that eye test should win the day. I don't. That's a gut. That's a watching it. I just think they're better, or I think I know they're better.
Let me ask you this,
if you have hard evidence to prove otherwise in the same type of resume, you tell me in what world that Notre Dame should be higher than Miami right now, other than the fact that you may think that they're better.
I understand your question.
And it's okay, and maybe they are.
Maybe they are.
But my tiebreaker can't be that.
I hear you. Let me ask you this, because you brought up eye test, and we know that there's some former coaches on this committee. Do you not give them the benefit of the doubt when you hear that breaking down the X and no part of it? Because go ahead, just answer that.
I do give them the benefit of the doubt in that they believe that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you can believe that all day, but when you're trying to decide who's most deserving, I don't want to hear I just know they're better. When they played each other at some point during this season and one team won.
I hear you.
That's all.
No,
if Miami had 3-4 losses right now, then the head-to-head may not come into play as much.
They're not over the Louisville and SMU losses. SMU losses for Miami. That to me is an anchor, right, for the Hurricanes when it comes to that scenario. Because you're talking about
their bad losses in your mind outweigh the lack of great wins for Notre Dame.
Not in my mind. I think the committee's mind.
Yeah,
I think the committee's mind.
I'm not here to tell you that that if I was a team that I'd want to play Notre Dame more than Miami. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'm not. Notre Dame may be better, but I thought it was about the most deserving. Like, it's not about who's most. It's kind of like the Heisman. The Heisman isn't the most talented guy in the country. It's the guy it's the best player who's had the best season.
Yeah.
Like, I can't just put the most talented guy and give him the Heisman if he didn't have the best season, just because I know he's the best player.
Right. I hear you. I hear you for sure. I think part of the problem here, too, is there's so many things that they can identify as to say why we think this team needs to be in this slot or more deserving than Team X. It could be strength of schedule. It can be control of the game. It could be eye test. It could be anything. And that's the problem with the committee is the criteria that they have to stick by is so loose that year in and year out, we find ourselves in these scenarios where we're debating and questioning, well, what are they thinking? What are they seeing? Why do they have this team there? There's really nothing they have to stick to. So they can just do this willy-nilly week in and week out and make these type of decisions. I think that's some of the frustrating part for me.
I think I'd be very okay with that if Miami and Notre Dame never played.
Right.
Then I'd have no hard evidence to tell you that I know for a fact. And the resumes are close. And if Notre Dame's playing better ball than Miami right now or how they feel about it, it's fine. I find it very interesting that, and the committee was talking about, well, if BYU loses, that'll put Miami and Notre Dame right together. And if they're right together, then maybe we could flip them now.
What is that?
You're saying the difference between 10 and 12 is different between 10 and 11? Like, I understand literally it's one spot.
It's odd.
But if you feel like, that's why I kept saying, like, how far does Miami have to be away from Notre Dame for head-to-head not to matter?
Exactly. It's like the value of the football game that happened 3 months ago has this, like, fluid value where, hey, if they're right next to each other, that game matters a lot. But if they're not right next to each other, well, now it doesn't matter as much. And it's like, what happened between 3 months ago and now? Specifically, what happened between these rankings and next week, where there are 0 games played for Notre Dame and 0 games played for Miami. I don't even think the committee was really referencing that. I think that was the faulty interpretation of a lot of media members.
I agree.
Including Reese Davis, by the way, who almost sounded like he was actively campaigning for Miami to be above Notre Dame. But I think that when Juracek or whatever his name is, I think when he said, yes, teams that don't play can move up or down this weekend, I think he meant relative to teams who do play, not relative to other teams who don't play. Why would Miami and Notre Dame flip when neither of them have a game?
We're playing.
Only because of what they brought up, which is that if BYU loses, Miami would go to 11, and then they'd be one slot closer to Notre Dame. And my contention is the same as yours, I think, which is that 2 and 1 make no difference to me because they played. Right. They played, and they have the same wins and losses. To your point, there's a season within a season of – because some teams are getting punished for bad losses and some teams are being built up for bad losses. Like, you know what I mean? Like if Alabama, let me give you the Alabama thing. So Alabama's in a really good situation, probably a lock situation, because either way this goes, as long as they don't get blown out, either way it goes, they have 2 good things. This is either going to be a very good loss.
Yep.
Or it's going to be a great win. Right. Like, either way, they can sell it.
Yeah.
Because, they've already beaten Georgia on the road, so to fault them for losing on a neutral.
And how do you move Alabama up after they looked the way that they looked against Auburn? Ahead of Notre Dame.
Rival game on the road.
But the way that they looked, that to me doesn't make any sense.
Well, okay, it's not the Ohio State-Michigan thing for sure, because Auburn was a sub-500 football team. So I agree it's not the same, but I think they gave them...
I mean, they blew almost a 20-point lead to Auburn and leaped Notre Dame.
Good game.
That to me I can't get there in my mind.
Yeah, so you had an 11-game sample of both teams last week. This week you now have a 12-game sample where that 12th game are 2 wins, one for Notre Dame, one for Alabama, both against sub-500 teams, and that flips them?
Yeah, I don't get it.
What changed?
I don't get it. That's what
Alabama, you're saying that Alabama, even though they won at Auburn, did not deserve to jump Notre Dame?
Not after the way that they looked.
Not if you had them above them the week before.
That wasn't super impressive to me.
And they did have them below them Last
week, yes. Auburn is a 5-6 football team that I think won one game in the SEC this year.
You don't think that just the extra game did it?
If they would have
the 10th win versus you have 9?
No, we have 10. We're 10-2.
Yeah, they're 10.
Okay, so you have the same record now as Bama?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you thought of them the week before, that's fine. But that week should not have flipped it.
No. And if Alabama would have kicked their teeth in, then I'm like, okay, I kind of get it. They dominated Auburn. But the fact that they let a bad football team hang around and then you're telling us that they deserve to lead Notre Dame, I can't rock with them.
It's not as pressing to me as the Notre Dame Miami one. That one is almost now. You have a tiebreaker. Yeah. You played the game. Because here's the deal. If Notre Dame would have won that game instead of lost it, this wouldn't even be a conversation.
Real quick, because I know we got to get to break. Let me ask you guys this. Is Notre Dame getting a little bit of a boost for a good loss to A&M?
Yes.
That's got to be part of this, right?
The 4 points away from being undefeated still plays.
Yeah, I think that's part of this, too. Is that they're getting some credit for a good loss to A&M.
That's what I mean. Some teams are getting built up by a good loss without great wins, and other teams who have great wins are getting dragged down by subpar, losses or subpar wins. Yeah. You guys wanted the savior for Penn State. Some guys thrown that out there. Is it true? And would he be? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
All the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hi, this is Max with Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. We want to wish the community, our clients, and our team a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. We're incredibly thankful to serve such a great community with such an amazing team. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being you. And when you need us,
call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Toyotathon is on, and there's no better way to get in the spirit of the season than with a new Toyota. Now through January 5th, get 4.75 APR financing on any remaining new 25 RAV4 or RAV4 hybrid. Or lease a new gas-powered RAV4 LE for $279 a month for 39 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
When it's 6 a.m. and you need a skid steer and you want to talk to an actual person about skid steers, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and hardest working equipment experts in Columbus, we can help steer you to the right skid steer at the right price right now. Tracks or wheels, diesel or gas, light, medium, or heavy duty. Plus attachments for loading, grading, digging, drilling, tilling, and trenching. No wonder the Columbus builders building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
They say glory is earned, not given. We say it's ignited by heart and ends with a boom. Get your tickets today at bluejackets.com.
Skyline's Mac and Cheese 3-Way is back. This time with white cheddar cheese and creamy cavatappi pasta. Try a Mac and Cheese 3-Way with Skyline's original chili or their new chicken chili at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the Super Quick Auto Pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Fraud in government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars. I'm Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber, and my job is to catch people that lie, cheat, and steal, report suspicious behavior, and help stop fraud. Learn the red flags, speak up, and protect your tax dollars by calling 1-866-FRAUD-OH.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. To say that we're excited about the Buckeyes playing Indiana for the Big Ten Championship would be an understatement. So we're giving you 11 hours of pregame. 11!
Please go to 11.
It all begins Saturday morning at 9. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
In North Central Ohio, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. Quiet weather today, but cold. Low 30s this afternoon with some sunshine. We'll see a little bit of light snowfall overnight into early Thursday, but impact should be minimal. Temperatures in the 20s Thursday afternoon. Early Friday, cold temperatures. Wait for single digits to greet you as you head out the door in the morning. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Free Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Maddie. Bet365 time.
I got you, brother. Let's lock in because at Bet365, if you're a new customer, they got an awesome deal waiting just for you where all you have to do is bet $5 and you are going to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $150 into something bigger when you bet on spreads, totals, player props, or money lines. Keep an eye out, folks, for the Daily Boost and Super Boost as well. What are you looking at today, big dog?
You know, it's interesting. I was thinking about dipping a toe in the water of the NBA tonight.
Okay.
And I want to see where Cooper Flagg's over-under is. Did you see that yet?
I have not seen that today.
Let's see.
Where are they playing tonight, AR?
They are playing the Miami Heat.
Ooh, okay. Tough little matchup.
Yeah, and it's at home, though.
Little match.
And so let's check his over-under on points.
He's popped a couple.
He has, and I'm wondering if this is the time we go the opposite now.
Oh,
unless you want to drag me into the first basket, which I'm not doing.
Dealing with Bam Adebayo and the former Hoosier Khalil Ware, who's turning it around. That's a tough day at the office for a rookie. But the last two outings for Cooper Flagg, 35 points against the Clippers and 24 points against the Nuggets. And I know you feel some way about that game, don't you?
Now, that's a joke that they lost at home in that game. I may or may not have had something on that. Points over under. Cooper Flagg is 17.5.
Ooh.
So give me his numbers again.
Last 2 weeks. Last two games, 35 and 24. The 3 games prior to that, though, AR. Yeah. 12, 12, and 13. One of those games against the Miami Heat was against the Heat, and he had 12. So I like the call. I'll roll with you on this today.
Wait, under?
Yeah, I'm going under.
See, it's weird because, and this is the only reason why, is that it looks like on paper it should be a lock over based on what he's done.
Yeah.
But I think we have to kind of...
I'm zagging on this.
Yeah.
I'm zagging on this. I'm going under for Cooper Flagg. Hey, download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only, must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In app only.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Just looked up and saw that Penn State is outside the top 70 programs in recruiting right now. Did I see that correctly?
You saw it correctly.
Ohio State is number 8.
Yeah, you think
right now.
Buckeye fans are a little worried today about the Hartline stuff. Imagine how Penn State fans are feeling right now. And then you got your old head coach, James Franklin, trolling you with a box of crumble cookies because the program's crumbling apart. Like, they don't have a head coach. Who are you committing to over there right now?
So here's the deal. If they could have swung big, which they can, I'm assuming they have the money to do it, they'd have a guy right now. They'd have one of the big boys, right? They would have pried somebody out of somewhere, right?
What's interesting to me is BYU's head coach, and I forget his name off the top of my head, but he's been there for a while.
Kalani Sitake.
Thank you. To me, that is a level up, right, for a head coach. You go from BYU to Penn State, historically rich program, yeah, we get it. For him to say no to them is odd to me, but also kind of speaks to what's going on and then why a guy like that is saying no to that job. And so a lot of these programs have either locked up their coaches that are already there. Brent Key, most latest one with Georgia Tech today, him getting an extension, and we've seen others over the last few days. And so, yeah, they're down bad right now, AR. They are down bad right now, and this recruiting news for their fan base is going to have them shook, to say the least.
And I think the Splash name is gone. And I'm not saying they were looking for the Splash name. Maybe they're trying to find the next Signetti. I don't know. But I feel like the Splash name's gone because, like, even if you wouldn't get Kalen DeBoer now. Like, you couldn't. No. Like, the Splash guy is done, except there is a Splash guy who's not currently in college that Big Ben Roethlisberger threw out today.
Yeah, maybe a fresh start for him is what's best. Whether that's in the pros, whether maybe go be Penn State's head coach. You know what he would do in Penn State? He'd probably go win national championships.
Legit,
because he's a great recruiter.
That's what was I having a conversation? We probably had this.
Probably.
Or I was having this conversation the other day. I'm like, Coach T in college would be one of the greatest college football coaches.
So if you haven't guessed, he's talking about the Steelers head coach, Mike Tomlin. And here's the weird part. I don't think Steeler fan would be that. Maybe they're ready.
That fans were chanting at the game on Sunday.
To fire him.
And he kind of took to the podium and was like, he was understanding of that. And so for a long time, I've kind of been in the camp of, I'd be very careful, right, wanting to move on from Mike Tomlin. I'm still kind of there, but it does feel a little stale right now. And that there needs to be some type of rejuvenation and spark. But that's a very, very tough decision to make. Because if you are the Steelers and you're going to move on from Mike Tomlin, this is a two-headed thing they're going to have to deal with. We don't have a quarterback of the future, and we don't know if our next head coach is going to be very good either. And so it's a tough call to make. I don't see him coaching in college, though. He doesn't feel like that guy to me.
Well, he's had the opportunities, and he has shot them down.
What do you say? The check ain't big enough? I think it was the USC stuff. Wasn't that the quote? It was a good quote.
No, he said he wasn't entertaining the speculation.
I got to find the
quote. But you're right.
There isn't a big enough blank check.
Yeah, there may be something about that.
Yeah, I love it.
So when he shot down LSU and USC a few years ago, then it made me think, like, okay, he's not, but you're still the head coach of an iconic franchise. You've won a Lombardi. Mm-hmm. Like, I know he's probably itching for another one of those. Plus, you're in the NIL era.
He's going to have to wait a long time.
Yeah. Well, unless you guys somehow...
What, this year?
No, not this year.
Oh.
No, but... Like, to Maddie's point, like, you're always going to be relevant. Like, I think you'll be...
Well, it depends on your definition of relevant. I think we're one of the most boring football teams in all the NFL this year.
Yeah,
There's zero appeal.
Yeah, the offense the last few years has been kind of dry, right? It's just been dry. You've had some good years with the defense. We know they got some ballers on that side, but there just really hasn't been a ton of upside offensively the last couple of years. I don't know if that's all Mike Tomlin's fault. I think he's been handcuffed with the quarterback position. There's only so much you can do with the talent that he's had there the last few years. And so
I think I think Penn State's going to put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound here and keep the interim guy, Terry Smith. Like, I don't see any way out of this because what's going to happen is you already have established relationships in-house with the players. So the players are probably like, this is the only way to keep this whole thing this ship from sinking is to hire the interim head coach. If we can't make a splash now, because you bring in a guy from the outside, first of all, you're selling your fan base. He was the 8th choice. And I know they're not, or whatever.
Right.
And that's a tough sell.
Yeah.
And listen, if you get the right guy, you get the right guy. I know this is a microwave society, and if you don't win the press conference, so what? Like, if he's the right guy, he's the right guy. But I feel like Terry Smith's probably the one to hold this together and then kind of, I don't know.
And it's also, to me,
like, to reevaluate.
You know, I was big on, like, I get that it's Penn State, but it's such a pressure-packed situation right away for whoever takes over that job.
And it almost feels now, Maddie, like if you're head coach, you're buying low.
Well, I just think, like, where James Franklin left the bar.
That's true.
Where they felt like they underachieved.
That's true.
You can't come in and fall short of that, because then the fan base is immediately against you, because whether they're delusional or not, they think in their mind that they're close as a program, and James Franklin wasn't able to get over the hump. So I just think some coaches looked at that and said, man, do I really want to deal with that right away? Like, that's not the easiest thing, I think, to do or embrace.
And it's funny because this is now the cautionary tale for something we didn't really foresee, because firing your coach early was kind of in vogue. Or, I mean, this season it was in vogue. Yeah. But Now there's your one warning of like, hey, you can fire your coach early, but what happens if nobody else wants you back and you think that you're this huge destination job, and then basically you firing your coach is everybody else's excuse to extend their own, and now you don't have any options, or at least no. I mean, you have to think really outside the box. Hey, Brian Kelly's always out there. Who knows?
They had such a head start on the early signing period. Like, they had such a head start by firing.
They did.
Like, a head start meaning that they could kind of get their guy, or at least feel like they had their guy. But it's also tough because you can't replace him in season. Like, you can't get the guy who's coaching a current program. Like, you can't do that. So it's a mess.
I think both Ole Miss and Penn State are in a very tough spot right now as far as the appeal to their fan base based off of the guy that just left and what they did. Yeah. Lane Kiffin was there for 5-6 years. Gave Ole Miss some of their best years. And now the guy following him is going to be looked at, hey, you better be doing something similar. If not, it's going to be looked at as a failure, I think, for some of the fans, both over there at Penn State, down there in Oxford.
Has Zach Werenski gotten his requisite 3 warning texts?
Yep, from his net.
One from me, one from you.
One from the Jackets.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out in 2 minutes. Hockey and Hounds, Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been with a capable Kia SUV. And right now, get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on the purchase of specially tagged new 2025 Telluride, Sorrento, and Sportage models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 60 months from Kia Finance. Subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2025 Telluride, Sorrento, and Sportage. $1,705 per month per $1,000 financed at 60 months. $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 1/2/26. Offers may not be combined except where specified. Subject to dealer participation and vehicle availability. See Kia dealer for details.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You'd think that dog conversation wouldn't necessarily blend with hockey talk. And you'd be wrong.
You idiots!
Like a fine wine and dark chocolate, it's going down smooth. Rothman and Ice present Hockey and Hounds.
Sponsored by Telhio Credit Union. Count on Telhio, Columbus's hometown credit union for all your personal and business banking needs. Learn more at telhio.org.
Now joining the boys, the lead dog on the blue line, Zach Werenski.
Yeah, he's our guy. And he is the stud blue liner for the CBJ. He's our friend, Zach Werenski, brought to you by Telhio Credit Union, Hockey and Hounds. Z, good to have you, my man. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Good, thank you. All right, so let's tackle the game first, and you know what game I'm talking about. Did your alma mater tease you a little bit? Did you think the Ghosts were circling Ohio State in that first 5 minutes, or did you not allow yourself to dream that big?
I mean, they gave me some hope there. I feel like once they didn't get in the end zone, those first few drives, I mean, that's important. Just getting points is good, but against Ohio State, you're going to score touchdowns. And as much as I would have hoped for a repeat of last year and a crumble by Ohio State, they're just too good. It didn't happen. So the better team won, and back to the drawing board we go.
You know, Z, we're sitting here today, and it's National Signing Day around college football. I want to ask you this, like going back to your process of figuring out where you were going to go, before going to Michigan and all that. What was that like for you, maybe looking at some other places to go before you landed in Ann Arbor?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very unique experience. Obviously, I'm sure times have changed now with NIL and all that stuff. But for me, going through it, like visiting schools and kind of determining where you want to play college hockey and be a student at, there's so much that goes into it. For me, being a young kid, I went in as a 17-year-old, only being 45 minutes from home in Ann Arbor was a big reason why I chose Michigan, and obviously the history of the hockey program. It just made sense for me, but definitely an exciting day, very unique, kind of going to all those schools and seeing what they have to offer. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to what's best for you, and yeah, for me it was Michigan, and it all worked out.
If it wasn't Michigan, where would you have gone?
I was close to going to Boston University. I kind of talked to them a decent amount. I kind of kept all my doors open. There was a point where I maybe thought about going to the CHL. I had a lot of options. I was drafted by London in the OHL, so I thought about that for a second. I love where I was at with the U.S. program. But at the end of the day, with my situation, like I said, being a 17-year-old going to college, it felt best to be close to home. And I got the room with Dylan Larkin, who was a longtime best friend of mine, so that made me feel more comfortable. But, yeah, I was supposed to go to BU. I really liked it there. But those are kind of the two I narrowed it down to towards the end.
How did that feel? So you were probably drafted by us as what, a sophomore?
I was drafted after my freshman year.
Okay. Boy, that's very football-esque and basketball-esque, right? You're a guy that gets drafted into the pros as a University of Michigan, soon-to-be sophomore defenseman. But and by the way, I don't think you guys have had a lot of first-round defensemen from Michigan until you were, right? Trouba was one maybe. It had been a while. That had to be a huge deal for the program at the time for a Michigan defenseman to be drafted in the first round.
Yeah, I don't know exactly who was before Trouba. I know Mike Commissaric a long time ago. I'm trying to think if there's any other first-round D between him and Trouba. But, yeah, Trouba kind of started it, and then it was me. And then following me and him, we had some really good defensemen come through there. Quinn Hughes, Luke Hughes. Those are very, very high picks. So, yeah, I think it was important for the program to – they always had high-end forwards, maybe to get a high-end defenseman at the time and kind of reestablish themselves as, a program and a university that can develop forwards and defensemen. And, they have a lot of high-end skill there now.
The game against the Devils, to me, and maybe just some average fans, was just so huge in so many ways. It was gritty. It was tough. It was a lot of fights. I mean, let me ask you this. When you see Adam Fantilli fight for the first time ever in the NHL, what were you thinking?
Yeah, he did great. Obviously, trained with him in the summer, so I know he's a big, strong kid, and always had a feeling when he got in his first fight he'd be able to hold his own. But I liked it. He got right into it. It maybe took the other guy a second to realize he was in a fight, but that's fine. You'd rather be on Adam's side doing what he's doing than he'd be another guy taking punches. So, I thought he did great. I think it's great for our room. Seeing a guy like him who doesn't have to do that, maybe got out of his comfort zone a little bit and stand up for himself and for our team, I think it goes a really long way.
Z, when you have young guys come into the league, are there any vets that kind of give those guys the roadmap of how to fight in the league, or do you guys let them figure it out on their own?
I'm definitely not the guy to be the roadmap for these young guys. We have a few guys in our room that can do that. I think Ollie, I'm sure guys ask him how to fight. It's one of those things where if you don't do it often, I feel like even if you have a few tips, there's still nothing like the real thing, like actually being in it. But, he said he spoke to Ollie in the past about it and kind of knew what to do. And like I said, he looked great doing it. I feel like for me, it's always been, I've only fought 3 times, I think. It's so different when you're actually in it. So, it's a different, unique feeling, but we have guys that can help guys out if that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, because, honestly, and I know it's got to be, you're in it, you're a competitor, you want to be tough, you're a defenseman, but we also don't need you getting hurt, right? Like, it's an accident in a fight is not what we want. Did you need directions to the penalty box? You hadn't been there in a while.
I know, it's been a while. I was hoping to go all year without one, but that streak ran out, so maybe I'll fight or something now that I already took 2 minutes. But I don't have to worry about having a clean sheet anymore.
Hey, going back to the game against the Devils, when you know you're not going to have Marchie there, obviously an impact player for you guys. Does your
maybe back?
Maybe back. Well, just in the last game, right? Like, does your mindset change at all, Z, as far as your approach to the game and maybe thinking I got to maybe do a little bit more in this game? I know you had a couple assists in that one, but your mindset going into games like that without a guy like Marchie, do you feel like you need to level up a little bit more?
I think it depends on the game. I think everyone, when a guy like that is out of your lineup, has to step up a little bit, right? Like, he's such a huge piece for us, especially driving offense. I think when a guy like that's out of your lineup, everyone collectively has to kind of take ownership a little bit more and just give a little bit more. I feel like, for me personally, I really didn't play good in that Jersey game. I felt like as a team we were, I feel like we've had better games recently that we haven't won. But what I liked about that was we go down too early. We make it 2-1, make it 2-2. The fights, the pushback, all this plays great. Like, we found a way to win a game that maybe wasn't our best, but we had a little bit of everything in it. I think that's really important for this group because we've played really good hockey and haven't got the results. So I think it's important to find those ways to win when you're not playing your best. And obviously, it'd be huge to get Marchie back, but I feel like everyone just stepped up in his absence, and yeah, it's a huge win for us.
How did he look today, Marchie?
He looked like Marchie, really good, making plays, shipping pucks from guys. Hopefully he's in tomorrow. I don't really know what his status is, but yeah, he looked really, really good.
Listen, at least you get a break from answering the questions about trying to close out a win, right? I mean, you had a 2-goal lead with 12 minutes to go. I think it got to 1 right away at like 10 minutes to go. And I know it's just one game, but that had to matter to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the biggest thing too is just so we can stop talking about it.
Yeah.
As players in the room, you really don't think of it when you're playing. But at the end of the day, that's what was happening. We were blowing leads, and everyone wants to talk about that, and rightfully so. We don't want it to happen, but when you're going through it and you're on the ice and the games are happening, you're not thinking about that. It just happened to be what we were going through and a little bit of adversity, but hopefully those days are behind us. We can just keep moving forward here.
Yeah, it's right. And I thought you answered it perfectly, which is, what am I going to say? Like, you don't want it to happen. Until it doesn't happen, I'm going to face the questions. And now at least to seal up a game and a tough game and an identity game and not having Olivier out there and having guys step up was pretty cool. Like Coach said, like, it didn't matter who was fighting. It felt like you guys were it was you against the world a little bit, because when you don't have Olivier out there, that's got to feel weird.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I spoke on this today to some of the media people in Columbus at the rink. Like, obviously, we want him and Goody in the lineup, especially for games like that. Like, there's no denying what they bring, but we also have other big, strong players that can stand up for themselves and stand up for our team. Look at Brendan Smith here. Look at what Thance did. I mean, there's a lot of guys that aren't afraid to fight and stand up for each other, and I think sometimes it's good when other guys have to do that, not just Ollie or Goody, and brings your team closer. So we're really confident in the guys we have in our room in any situation.
Yeah, great win. Good news. A few weeks ago, I mentioned a dog named Gamira, who was that mix that had the Merle coat from CHA, my friends at Citizens for Humane Action in Westerville, adopted. It's so great. She was there so long. I think she was their longest resident. I think after we talked, and we're not taking credit, but just the cosmic energy that we put out there for her, she got adopted. So I was so happy to be able to tell you that. And the dog I'm going to showcase today is a dog named Ringo. Ringo is from speakfortheunspoken.com. And, more so about even the dog is that a lot of these little rescues need help with fosters tremendously, because if they have a dog that a boarding facility is nice enough to take on, it still costs money. It's not free. So I think, like, to board Ringo right now, it's $50 a day. Like, it's a lot. And for these rescues, it means so much. So if we could just even find a foster for Ringo right now, it would take a lot of the pressure away. Energetic little boy, probably had a very tough start because I know that he was a stray, and, looking for a home to kind of make him or help him become the best dog he can be. And Ringo is he's like a little bully breed mix. He's got these cool big ears. He's awesome. He loves to play with other dogs and his toys, and Like he wears himself out and then just crashes on the couch. He's really a cool guy. And like I said, he was found as a stray. So when strays, they got to learn how to be a dog at a later age, and it's tougher. Like they're playing catch up. So he just enjoys trying to be a good boy, you know. And I've heard about him, and I've yet to really meet him in person. I've seen some pictures and videos, but so anybody that really could help us, he comes with 3 free, like one-on-one training sessions from Wolfman's Canines, a big training voucher towards the purchase of a extended board and train. And so fosters, to just keep them safe until we can find their adopters, would be incredibly helpful. So if anyone's interested in Ringo or a dog that may fit their lifestyle, go to speakfortheunspoken.com or message me here at the station and we'll connect you. But during this time of year, that's what we look for mostly, is just a safe space for these dogs to continue being social, being trained, and find their hero adopters. So we'll hopefully put some good energy out there, Z.
Yeah, that's great news. Hopefully Ringo can, or hopefully you can give me some more good news here moving forward. But I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yep, good luck against your boy Larkin tomorrow night.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm excited.
All right, pal. That's Zach Wierenski, Hockey and Hounds, brought to you by Tel Ohio Credit Union. Proudly serving Ohio since 1934. Tel Ohio is Columbus's hometown credit union. Incredibly great people. Learn more at telohio.org. When we come back, Tell the Truth, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
'Tis the season for making memories. Give the gift of more time together at Dick's House of Sport and join us for family fun events all season long. Plus, climb a rock wall, test the multi-sport cage, and perfect your swing in a golf simulator. And shop the widest selection of the hottest brands like Nike, FP Movement, Adidas, Carhartt, UGG, and Stanley. Unforgettable moments start here at Dick's House of Sport. Visit dicks.com/House of Sport to see what's happening this season.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Skyline's Mac and Cheese 3-Way is back. This time with white cheddar cheese and creamy cavatappi pasta. Try a Mac and Cheese 3-Way with Skyline's original chili or their new chicken chili at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
El Dorado Scioto Downs is your Caesars Rewards destination. And big news, Scioto Downs has been chosen to host the prestigious Breeders' Crown in 2026, featuring 12 championship races. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. Visit Caesars.com/Scioto Downs for details.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. It's cold here in Central Ohio. You know that, Columbus. And if you spent last winter thinking you need new windows, but you didn't want to spend the money, well, it's a good thing you waited, because right now during Window Nation's end-of-year sale, you can get 50% off, plus get 0% interest for 5 years. Not only could you get affordable custom windows, but shorter wait times mean you'll get them fast. And Window Nation will install them in 1 day while keeping your home warm and dry.
Once they're installed, your new windows instantly stop those cold, wintry drafts better than the big name brands. They also seal out moisture and are so energy efficient, you'll actually save money on your monthly utility bills. Plus, they're backed with a lifetime warranty. With such great windows and service, it's no wonder Window Nation has over 45,000 five-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Window Nation's end-of-year sale is your chance to save big with 50% off all window styles, plus 0% financing for 5 years. The sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com now to get started. Window Nation, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Your family might not listen to you, but we will. Sunday mornings at 8.
It's the Fan Call-In Show presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
You're welcome.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Right now, get 50% off all window styles from Window Nation at windownation.com.
All right, TLC, take us home, baby.
All right, tell the truth. How many members are in that studio right now?
1.5. 1.5. The over-under was...
He heard that?
I don't know how he heard it. Oh, because that door was... I don't know. How did you hear what he said?
Wait, how'd you answer my question?
Yeah, how did you answer his
I don't know where I heard that, but I heard you asking how many members are in the studio.
Might have been blasting through your headphones.
I don't know, but I heard
one of you has your headphones cranked all the way up if he heard it nowhere near his
Maybe he's just telepathic.
No, I got caught up
or psychotic.
Talking to Ryan Baker because we were dreaming about maybe the Kyle Schwarber stuff for the Cincinnati Reds. So I was caught up in that dream out there. But yeah, I'm here now.
I'll say this. I always root for one of you guys to be left out there losing track of time.
That's nice.
However, I never root for both of you to be out there because that means that I got to stall by myself, and that's like the worst nightmare. Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm back, baby.
Welcome to the TLC show.
That would have been great.
Up next, Zach Wierenski's going to talk to me.
Yeah. It would have been nice. Matt, it's always nice.
So, Zach, how's your forecheck?
There's a joke in there somewhere. It's always nice when your producer is rooting for you not to come back.
What's a little
nice, the joke's on us.
Oh, man, there is a feeling, though, like, hey, I'm sure you've been there a couple times to where, like, you're either coming out of the bathroom or you're just hee-hawing around like I was just doing, and you turn around and you see that on-air light on. There's a little spark of, like, anxiety and adrenaline that kicks in. Well, that's for sure.
There is a weird thing in this business that you have an internal clock like nobody else.
100%.
You can, and I think it works in a lot of areas, but when they kind of redo commercial breaks, we've been caught.
Yeah. You and I think, have talked about this, too, when it comes to internal clocks with commercials, watching a game, and going away from, like, a live football game or whatever. Like, I'm going to watch this movie.
For 5 minutes, right.
It's like that internal clock. They're back.
Back and someone scored.
Yeah, they're back.
No, he and I, we time it up pretty well.
We're on it.
Yeah.
Well done. All right, so Andrew in Springfield called me the other day here in the studio when you guys said, hey, you can talk to TLC. You can't get on
awesome.
the air. And Andrew in Springfield wanted to talk about whether or not Ohio State is on three-peat watch. So he was basically saying, we already got this championship. We're on to next year already. Tell the truth. What do you think Andrew in Springfield's thinking right now that Brian Hartline's no longer the OC and wide receivers are decommitting left and right? Is Andrew in Springfield still on three-peat watch?
Maybe he's moonwalked off that a little bit and it's now back-to-back watch. Maybe we're just doing back-to-back instead of racking up 3 in a row. So, yeah, I think a lot of Buckeye fans, they are. Like, you look up there, the class is still pretty good, right? But
I don't think it changed his opinion one bit.
You really think, even sitting here today?
Signed, sealed, delivered?
If you told him that Julian Sain and Jeremiah Smith are still wearing those helmets.
Well, he's saying... So next year they would do it. So this year and next year. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
as long as he knows
those guys are there. Yeah.
Those guys are there. I don't think that affects his three-peat, the Hartline decision.
I mean, they're probably going to reset next year with the best.
Not that he's dragging me into that conversation yet. I'm not.
Because turning the page, not knowing exactly where everybody's going to be roster-wise, they're probably going to start the year with the best three-headed offensive monster in the sport. With Bo Jackson, Julian, and Jeremiah Smith.
And I'm sure Vegas would offer it. You know why? Because it would make you tie up your money for another 13 months. So they would love it. I bet there's a future right now on Ohio State to win this year and next year that you could probably. Yeah. Does the quarterback situation at Penn State just end any conversation that they could be in this game? At the time, we didn't know whether he just bailed on the question or whether or not
services dropped out. And I think it was the latter.
Kind of a Michigan thing. We don't know whether somebody pulled the plug intentionally or just
they were prepared,
things happen.
They were prepared.
The world's an imperfect place.
Wink, wink. They were prepared.
Let's get him back on and ask who Penn State's head coach is going to be and see if we have a similar result.
Oh, man, I feel bad for Penn State beat writers right now.
Yeah. Travis Kelce claims that he and Taylor Swift have not had one argument in their 2.5-year relationship. Is he telling the truth?
Wow.
He might be telling the truth, but I don't necessarily look at that as the greatest thing.
Oh.
Because I think
they haven't been tested yet.
Yeah, you want to
this is the Dan Orlovsky relationship thing.
I think you want to have some of that early on to
see
figure
how you
out.
Get through it.
Correct. Like, because you don't want that tsunami of emotion to just happen at one time because you don't really know how to handle it. So I like it.
It's a great point.
Very proud of you. That's very nice.
That is you want to be tested to see if, my theory, you're either stronger for it or it sends you the other direction.
And you got to learn in a relationship how to debate back and forth and how to, approach those type of issues, You
Look at the Iceman coming through with the therapy. The free therapy today.
I may be speaking from, experience.
Yeah. Free therapy right here.
How much of an impact potentially could it be on Ole Miss if it's determined they don't have their head coach in the field?
6'7". You're an idiot. Lane Kiffin, by the way.
He said 6'7".
Yurachek.
Did he?
Yeah. Well, on whether Ole Miss was going to be ranked 6th or 7th. And that's what we get.
6'7".
Yeah. So Lane Kiffin tweeted out the long departure note for Ole Miss. Yeah. And somewhere in there, he mentioned that he wanted to stay throughout the playoff run and that the team also wanted him to stay throughout the playoff run. And now multiple players are tweeting at Lane Kiffin, hey, that's not how that meeting went. We did not exactly request you to stay when you said that you were going to be leaving for LSU next year.
I thought it sounded like BS the second he said it. It wouldn't make sense. It wasn't. It didn't go together. That, hey guys, I'm leaving you. I'm leaving you. I'm taking another job. Guys that I've promised, recruits I've promised, I'm leaving. Yet you all want me to stay and see this through, right? So we can win a title. No, we want to win it in spite of you. I think most of these.
I wouldn't be surprised if some guys wanted to rock out with their head coach.
Maybe it was not every guy.
Yeah. But to your point, probably some guys.
But guys are out there now saying it.
Before we go, if you missed anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you got to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Bet365 is the sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Common Man and Timmy coming up next. Nicole Sheeran in studio at 3:30. Pat Murphy from Bucknuts stops by at 4:30 in studio to hit you with all the latest recruiting and Heartline news.
Chris Henry Jr. just tweeted 9 minutes ago, I have not signed yet, still trying to weigh my options due to coaching changes. I just want to make the right decision for my future. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
He's lobbed dope. Now get the hell out of here.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.